The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Get your home ready for winter. Schedule your furnace tune-up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning and save $30. Visit standardheating.com to book and lock in your savings.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93X.
Dunkin' Donuts is getting plenty of attention over its Halloween spider donut after the official Dunkin' Instagram account posted promos saying things like, "Your girl said I'm not so itsy-bitsy." Classic marketing strategy according to the old advertising maxim. Step 1, know your product. Step 2, imply your product is banging the customer's wife.
I'm scared to close my eyes. I'm scared to open them. I'm gonna die out here.
It's the Great Pumpkin!
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Dad, we did something very bad.
Did you wreck the car?
No.
Did you raise the dead?
Yes.
But the car's okay.
Uh-huh.
All right, then.
How's it hanging? I'm David Pumpkins. Any questions?
It's showtime.
All right. I fear there will be very few survivors because not only is today Halloween, but it's also Ashley's birthday. Welcome to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. Happy birthday, Ashley.
Thank you.
Boy, are you a lucky little thing.
Why do you say that?
Because we don't work the day after Halloween anymore for some reason, and no one needs to give me a reason. I'll take it. We don't work the day after Halloween anymore, so every time it's your freaking birthday, you get the next day off.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. I'm really excited that about it this year because I'm going to immediately put up my Christmas decorations tomorrow. And
stop it, for Christ's sake.
Off,
Tomorrow?
So I'm super pumped. I like the change. I think it's because I put my Halloween decorations up in like the beginning of September. So after about 2 months of it, I'm like, all right, I need to freshen some stuff up here.
Go ahead.
You're already excited for Halloween to be over.
I don't understand you people. but it's not my house. Just don't have me over.
Okay.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
What is it? What is this? 26, 7?
27.
27.
Yeah, it gets
You're
less
becoming an
exciting
adult.
every year.
Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it?
What did she say?
It gets less exciting every year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you're expecting, but...
And then you look back at yourself and you thought, like, when you turned 23, oh, I'm so old now.
Well, I remember when I was 28.
That was dramatic.
It was, it was painful for him.
Yeah.
I remember at 28, that's the first time I thought, oh, my gosh, I'm approaching 30.
Yep.
And I remember how I thought about 30-year-olds in high school, as if, ooh, boy, they only got a couple of years left.
They got everything figured out, too.
30, yeah, that's the other thing.
Not at all.
You think you'd have all the answers.
Yeah.
All right.
And I know you're feeling that a little bit. You said yesterday, oh, my gosh, I'm only a few years away from 30.
Yeah, I'm not very excited for that just because of, like, those reasons, Josh. Like, when I meet 21-year-olds now, they think I'm old.
No, they don't.
Oh, yeah, they do. It's not nice. They're not nice about it either.
I was told on my 30th birthday, and by the time I was 30, I didn't care as much. For whatever reason, 28 is when I cared. But I was told, you're just a pup. At 30, you're just a kid. Mm-hmm. And I thought they were insane. I'm like, okay. But now I totally agree. You know, as somebody who's about to be 50, 30's nothing. You're still a kid.
All right, that makes me feel better.
You're 3 years away from still being a kid. Don't worry about it.
Are y'all set for Halloween, Josh? You know, you have a big setup at the house with the smoke and the lights and the scary... what's happening?
No, I didn't do it this year.
Oh, really?
Wasn't able to do it this year, unfortunately.
Just didn't have the time ski?
Yeah, well, we didn't have the space ski. We had some stuff going on, so we had to move everything we own into the garage.
Oh, weird. You had some repairs going on at the house?
Yeah, we had so much water damage on our floors. Yes, we had to have it repaired. And so, for that reason, everything went to the garage, and I had no place to put all our Halloween stuff. I was going to get it out of storage, so I couldn't do it. I had one neighbor text me He's like, what the hell, man?
Thought maybe you had passed away.
He's like, why aren't you doing it this year? So I asked him if he'd be willing to help me set up the world's most evil Christmas display this year.
Oh, that would be cool.
And I felt terrible for a few different reasons.
Well, you can start tomorrow by Ashley's standards.
Yeah, Ashley, what time? Can I just start at midnight? When do I start?
Yeah, right.
12:01.
My buddy last year for Christmas, he got me a big ghost, right? This giant ghost, and it looks like it's melting, right? Like just skin's melting off, all that stuff. And it also looks like something else all over this ghost, so he calls it Spookaki, right, this ghost. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to have Spookaki on display.
What, it's inflatable?
No, it's like just a statue type thing.
Well, that's a good idea. That sucks that you...
I was pretty bummed.
That you had to sort of, one way or another, cancel Halloween, in a sense, because you love to decorate the yard up and down with the scare. It sucks, but that's a really good idea to make an evil Christmas show out of it.
I might do that. I bought some Santa hats for the different figures, so maybe I will go out there and do something like that.
Yeah, there you go. Well.
And then it'd be cooler because then you could splash blood on the snow and everything, and it really shows up.
Oh, good point. Yeah, that would be sweet.
That's almost too scary for me. I'm also a little bummed. I realized, you just never know when it's your last time to do something. I'm all done going along with the kids for trick-or-treating.
I know that bums you out.
I didn't even think about it until a couple days ago because my son, this is probably his last year, and he's going with some friends, and he doesn't want us anywhere near it.
No, he's what, 11, 12?
13.
Yeah, he doesn't need any chaperones anymore.
Yeah, he's just a few days into being 13, and I'm like, well, what if even last year he kind of complained about it. I'm like, well, this is for me. This isn't for you, right? I want to go out there and have some fun with you. And so I asked, well, what if I'm just like half a block away or a block away with some of the other dads? I can just walk around. He doesn't want that at all. So I'm all done.
Well,
so if anybody wants to loan me their kid, I'll take your kid trick-or-treating.
Well, you'd be the guy. I mean, most folks wouldn't trust a strange adult.
Is that weird to ask?
Yes.
It is?
Yeah, that's really weird to ask.
If you have a kid that I could borrow for the evening, I'd be happy to take him or her trick-or-treating.
Well, I know you're a big Halloween fan. There's got to be some way you can get involved tonight. I mean, other than just standing at your door and waiting for kids to show up. There's got to be, I'm sure, it's too late for this year. But next year, hell, I'm sure there's something you could come up with to get you more involved.
Well, I'm hoping, someday I'll be able to take the grandkids.
Yeah, there you go.
That's my next move.
I'm sorry, what happened?
Take the grandkids at some point. So if they start giving us grandkids down the road, I'm hoping to be alive so I can do that.
Yeah, my mom loves she loves doing that.
I apologize just for a second there when you said grandkids. I thought I had missed something.
Something that you.
Jesus.
I have a grand dog, Tommy.
Grand dog.
My son and his girlfriend's dog. So that's about as close as it gets.
All right, well. Kind of a lost Halloween for Cubby.
Yeah. All done.
Jesus, grandkids. That just makes me... a chill went up my spine there when you said that. Someday you're going to be a grandparent.
I'm actually looking for... My wife is pretending, I'm not ready for that. Grandkid, no way. She's full of crap.
Oh, yeah.
She's absolutely... I mean, I do think our kids are too young. But at the same time, she's so full of crap on that. She can't wait.
And when I say someday you're going to be a grandparent, that doesn't mean, you're not built for that or, you wouldn't play that role well. You certainly would. It's just, I've known you since you were 20 years old, for Christ's sake. And next thing you know, it's possible that you're a granddad and then the both of us will be dead.
Well, I know that. I'm a little worried about that. And I'm worried how quick that might come.
Why do you always say that?
Because no male in my family lives past 65. It's weird. They hit 65, and it's like a train crashing into a brick wall.
You always bring up this imminent early death.
Well, I'm just basing it on history of the men in my family.
The history?
Yeah, they're done at 65.
I dig it. Today's the perfect day to talk about unexpected death. This is good. This is good.
So my daughter... At her age, my wife had already had 2 kids. Can you believe that?
Wow.
2 kids at that age.
Oh, that is crazy to think about.
How old is your stepdaughter?
22.
Your wife already had a couple of...
2.
Yeah.
Yep. 2 kids at that point.
Double balls. Well, there you go.
And, by the way, sorry, real quick. Thank you to people in the listening audience who are going to happily let me take their kids trick-or-treating tonight. A few people, it sounds like, don't want to go trick-or-treat. I suppose the weather's not going to be great.
No.
I mean, you would be the guy. I'd vouch for you up and down. Nothing's going to happen. Don't worry about a damn thing. If Josh has got your kids and he's walking them up and down the street, they'll be just fine. I guarantee it.
Drunk Uncle Firefighter Jesus said I can take his son trick-or-treating. He did tell me he's 23.
Hey.
He might be a little old.
The weather is going to blow tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, sounds that way.
Yeah, I feel bad for the parents. The kids won't care, I don't think, but the parents will be miserable.
I never cared as a child.
Oh, you didn't? I did.
Oh, I didn't.
And the reason was, you're so excited to wear your outfit.
Mm-hmm.
And then, at least in my case, my mom would make us wear a jacket, hat, and gloves.
Yeah.
So there's
you
no
wanted to show off your cool costume.
Right.
So you looked like fat Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was stupid. You couldn't tell. Everybody's like, oh, what are you? Well, yeah, under here I'm a vampire. That's about it. I got the teeth.
Oh, she made you wear your coat over your costume.
Yes.
Oh, because in the past I've seen some kids who had to bundle up under their costume and they just looked like a wildly overweight Iron Man.
Yeah, that's how we would do it.
No, we did it over.
You had to throw your coat on over. Well, yeah, that's it's going to be a pissy night weather-wise, but I'm sure plenty of you will find a way to have some fun.
You got a party, Ashley?
No, just my folks are coming over for some dinner. And we're going to hand out some candy. So hopefully some kids stop by. I was excited, though, because I was going to have one of those, like portable fireplaces that you can put up in your driveway. I was going to sit in the driveway, and I thought maybe that would get kids to, more likely to come up. But that's probably going to be a no-go because of the weather.
I did that a few years ago. We lit a fire in the fire pit, sat there, and no one showed up.
Yeah,
they
I did that last year.
They walked right by us. They walked right by us and waved, but the kids didn't walk up the driveway. I guess maybe they thought that their children would be invading an adult party. I didn't care one way or the other. You guys know that I'm not a big Halloween guy, but
we started that. The neighborhood actually started that in 2020. It's just kept going. I mean, because they had sent out like a neighborhood flyer saying, hey, we still want to do Halloween despite the pandemic and whatnot. Maybe just at the end of your driveway, sit out there and hand out candy. So that's what we did, and it's kind of just stuck.
That's awesome.
Did you know that the social media dorks have predicted that trick-or-treating will not exist in 25 years?
I wonder if that's the case. It's been going on for a long time. I'd be a little surprised if it goes away.
The social media dorks were talking back and forth about common American traditions or holidays that might not exist in 25 years, and one of them on the list is trick-or-treating. Well, I guess I should say this. Trick-or-treating in your neighborhood. And here's the rest of the statement. People say there are designated areas now that parents go and small communities are abandoned. Can anyone explain that to me? What are we talking about there?
Well, we talked about trunk-or-treating the other day, right? Or places will have in rural areas where it's a little more difficult. It takes a while to get between homes. That it's kind of, and some it's kind of a mixed view on it. Some people like it, some people hate it. But you got an opportunity to go kind of in one area. Or neighborhood hopping. We talked about that, too. That's become more common.
Okay, so their prediction is because of these things that you mentioned, people will no longer trick-or-treat in their neighborhood. They'll go to special events.
There's a lot of them, certainly.
I guess I don't, you've done your best to explain it, but still, why wouldn't you walk around your own neighborhood?
I don't know. That's the fun of it, I think.
Some of the other supposed traditions and holidays that might just up and disappear in the next 25 years. I mean, it'll take a while. Class reunions. They chalk that up to social media.
I totally, looking at the list, there's like 3 that I thought they were 100% right on, and I think class reunions. I mean, you talked about, Nick, how you had a very large class and only a handful of people showed up at your last one.
The last couple of reunions we've had, despite having 500 or some odd kids in our now 53-year-old people, but despite having 400 or 500 kids in our class, the last couple of reunions we've had, 25 people.
Yeah, that's nuts.
A dozen. And I don't know if it's social media, because I'm not on social media, but we've never had a good showing. Maybe it's just the people in my class. Maybe we're just all kind of loner type people are ended up that way because we've never had a good showing, ever, at a reunion.
Do you guys get a publication from your high school quarterly?
No.
Because I think it's quarterly. We get that.
You get something in the mail?
Yeah, they mail out like a basically like a little booklet of what's going on, and they span people who graduated as far back as are still alive to kids today that are in school, right?
That's really nice.
That would take a lot of time to set that up.
I'd imagine it would. But they show class reunions. They're like, hey, it's a 50th class reunion, and they're pretty well attended. But when you see the younger ones, it's not as attended.
Well,
and back in the day, the classes were smaller. And last time I remember we talked about
more meaningful to that generation, maybe?
I think so, right? And they're maybe less likely to be. I know older folks are on social media. Maybe they're a little less likely to keep up like younger people are.
You won't get a chance to go to any class reunions because you're going to die so young.
At 65, right? Yeah, I'm not going to find this out. 25 years, I'm dead.
Yeah,
and I've been dead for a while. I hope you guys come to my funeral.
Another tradition that is predicted to go away, and it also specifically deals with Halloween. Hasn't this already gone away? I haven't heard of this gimmick since we were 6, bobbing for apples on Halloween.
Oh, boy.
I've never seen that happen in real life.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
I did it like twice.
Yeah, when we had like school carnivals or whatever, but
Ooh, yay, I got an apple.
Oh, I thought it was cool when I was a little kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
And how disgusting. You're putting your nose and mouth all over the apples. You can't grab that one. It floats away, and then some other guy gets your apple.
Before 2020, I never thought about it.
Oh, I didn't either. Yeah, you're just sticking your face in some snot water.
I was at a church service once, and the pastor, he would try and get real creative. And sometimes he nailed it, other times, it's not easy to be creative all the time. And his the message was, give to God first. That's what you need to do. And then you're second, God is first. That's the priority.
All right.
And this was
I've been doing that all wrong, by the way.
Plenty of people. Sure. I'm not going to say it's wrong, but plenty of people do it in a different way. And so the gist was, when it comes to donating, think of God first, right? They're trying to raise some money for the church. And so to emphasize this, he pulls out an apple and takes a bite. And then he starts passing it around. And each person's supposed to take one bite, right? To say, see, this is becoming less and less appealing, right? And by the time 4 or 5 people took a bite, it's not right. It's gross. It's less appealing. That's why you want to start with God. You don't want to give God an apple that's almost eaten at the end of it.
Never give a priest props.
That was one of those things where people are looking around like, hey, I like this guy and all, and I appreciate what he's saying, but come on, man. That's
come on, bro.
Ew.
We can't all be putting our friggin' gums on this apple.
Yeah, guy 1 was like, all right, no problem. But by the 3rd, 4th person, they're like, son of a bee, I can't do this.
That's gross. What else is going to go away according to social media dorks and 8th graders? Gender reveal parties. Yeah, oh, God.
Hopefully.
So annoying.
The backlash on those has been so extreme that I think they're happening less and less already.
I mean, they've caused forest fires.
It's all so stupid. It's such self-centered garbage. So I thought that had already gone away, maybe because we used to get a story a day on some grandma ended up legless because things went sideways at the gender reveal party. This, Ashley said, forest fire. Someone lost an eye because they shot I thought that had already gone away because I don't see the stories anymore. Christmas cards are going to be a thing of the past. Also, they're chalking that up to social media. What do you need to fill out a card for when you can just send your old friend a message? Merry Christmas. Black Friday, most of it's already moved online.
I've already made a couple Black Friday purchases. Yeah, I mean,
That's crazy.
They already started, really. It's like the whole month of November, and now it's sneaking into October.
But like you've said before, your wife and your stepdaughter still like to go out shopping, walking around the malls.
Oh, they love it, yeah.
I have a couple pals who never miss the 4 a.m. Home Depot special or whatever. They go out and they're the first 2 morons walking into the joint.
Yeah, they love the experience of it.
The experience of it. Beauty pageants will become a thing of the past.
Those will get a bad reputation as well, just kind of being creepy.
Yep.
Well, it says here, for obvious reasons.
I think that's what they mean by that. Yeah,
the creepiness of it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not anything
I've heard the word problematic attached to beauty pageants.
That's not anything that I'm dialed into. I appreciate for I appreciate you clarifying.
Isn't that Honey Boo Boo?
Yes.
Wasn't she part of that whole scene?
Beauty pageant. Okay, what else is an American tradition that some folks say in the next 25 years will be gone forever? This is going to bother a few of you right here. St. Patrick's Day. And here's what they say. Some people say it's become very regional, where it's still a major thing in some areas, but not at all in others. Several people said it's a bigger deal in the Northeast and the Midwest, and we still have a couple of showdowns here on St. Patrick's Day, right? Is there still a parade?
Oh, yeah, St. Paul, Rosemont.
St. Paul's so busy every single St. Patrick's Day. And then Chicago is busy, too. They dye their river.
Yes, they do.
They look say for any excuse to dye their river a color. I love that about them.
Because the original color is pretty gross.
Yeah, it's just brown.
Yeah. They got to kind of touch it up every now and again, make it look like actual water.
They say now, by God, that St. Patrick's Day has already pretty much disappeared in the South and West. We just don't have that many Irish that away.
I guess.
Block parties.
You know what? Since I moved to the suburbs, we've never had one. Where I grew up, we had block parties all the time in South Minneapolis.
Yeah, I'm going to one on Saturday in South Minneapolis.
Yeah, it was just kind of more of a thing there, and I'm sure there's plenty of suburbs that have them. Maybe I just haven't been invited to one.
Are we talking about just a town party?
Well, like a block party, just like your neighborhood would shut down a street.
Yeah.
They'd have the cops shut down a street, they'd have a fire truck out, maybe kind of like a national night out.
Okay.
But you just do that in the summertime.
You just do it out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's not a holiday or anything.
No.
Or a town party.
No, just kind of your neighborhood deciding to get together.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I can't say for sure if I've ever been to a block party if it wasn't a holiday or something like that. And finally, car culture will go away. Car culture. First off, I'm not exactly sure what that means, but it goes on to say people think it peaked with the silence, S-I-L-E-N-T-S. I don't know what that is. And boomers, I think I know that slogan. Are we going back to that now, talking about boomers and snowflakes or whatever that trend was a few years ago? Who are the silents?
Yeah, I didn't understand that either.
Yeah, I don't know.
I probably could have Googled
car
it, but
culture. So people who love
car
to...
shows?
Well, I don't think it's just specifically car shows, just folks being wildly into cars and rebuilding old cars and things like that.
I don't think that'll ever change.
Yeah, car shows and stuff like that, I don't think that'll go away.
No. Well, but anyway.
Yeah,
some of this stuff I just, I'm not involved in any way, shape, or form, so it's a little lost on me, but wouldn't that be something one day? Trick-or-treating doesn't exist anymore. Right when Josh becomes a grandfather. Let's say he outlives his predicted death and becomes... right when you're ready to go walking down the streets as a grandpa, there's no more trick-or-treating. You'd probably go on some kind of a killing spree.
Kickstand Jesus went to a Halloween party with there was bobbing for apples, right? So they had a whole thing. They were about to do that, and the person that hosted the party hit a bunch of dildos at the bottom as a surprise.
Incredible.
Surprise!
That's cool.
You're bobbing for apples, you get a dildo in the yap.
Oh, okay. Thank you to the Brother and Sisterhood. Silence refers to the silent generation, the generation before boomers.
Oh. Yeah, see,
I've never heard that term.
I still can't keep track of who's a boomer and who's a this and that, so I don't know. Do they give you a time frame? Unfortunately, they probably don't, like a date, like between...
Well, that must be older than... I think my dad was a boomer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, my dad was a boomer.
I get so tired of that crap.
Yeah, here you go.
Between 1928 and 1945.
If you were born in that window, you are a silent?
A silent.
Okay. Well, then my parents, I guess, are silents. First time I've ever heard that. But there you go. Happy Halloween, everybody. Hopefully you go out despite the pissy weather and have a hell of a good time. It's our Friday. We'll talk with Randy Shaver a little bit later on this morning. And we got the stupid news coming up with a Halloween theme to it. So we'll get her dialed in for real here in a few minutes. We'll come back on the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show.
half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our technicians are geared up and ready to make sure your system is running reliably this winter. Regular maintenance from Standard Heating and Air Conditioning helps prevent costlier breakdowns in the future, and we know they always happen at the worst time.
Hey, Ashley here. Get your home ready for winter. Schedule your furnace tune-up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning and save $30. Have a boiler? Save $40 on your boiler tune-up. Visit standardheating.com to book and lock in your savings. Stay cozy, stay ready.
The Jim Jackson Show isn't just another NBA podcast. Of course, I'll break down everything about the league that I played in for 14 years and now cover as a broadcaster. There will be plenty of interviews with the biggest players, personalities, and insiders in the NBA. I say there's more to life than ball. That's why on this podcast, I'm going to delve into other passions, maybe business and maybe travel. I love lifestyle. The Jim Jackson Show, wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the half-assed morning show.
I'll tell you, this is where we're going now. Stupid news. Like I said a few minutes ago, we've got a Halloween-themed stupid news report for you. So if that's what blows your skirt up, here you effing go. And speaking of a Halloween theme, we just played the advertisement, didn't we? The advertisement. Ghost concert tickets coming up later on this morning, okay? It's Halloween Air Day for those folks, isn't it, Josh?
It is.
The folks who run around.
They put on a fun show.
They got a rock band. They call it Ghost. It's a historic night tonight in flippin' Des Moines, Iowa. It is. For the first time since 1938, the Iowegian kids down there in Des Moines will go trick-or-treating on Halloween.
That's interesting. I'd never heard this before.
Now, this is new to me. Of course, for damn near anybody else here in the States, Halloween night proper is when you cut loose, you raise hell, the kids run wild in the streets going door to door on the 31st of October. Everybody knows that, but not in Des Moines. So back in 38, whoever was running things back then in Des Moines thought that Halloween night was getting a little too squirrely. They thought the Iowegian kids were having too much fun. So they made it a thing to where in Des Moines, nobody will be going out trick-or-treating or any of that nonsense on the 31st. In Des Moines, we're going to go out on the 30th. And that move was supposedly going to, quote, cut down on what they called hooliganism. Friggin' Iowegians. Right, Josh?
It's funny. Hey, we're going to trick these fools. We're going the night before. They'll never figure out they can do the same stuff the day before.
That's the idea they had in 1938, and it stuck.
Maybe in 1938, that was a great idea. Maybe people were easier to fool back then. I don't know.
I think they were. But we just mentioned it yesterday. Wasn't it 1938 when the War of the Worlds radio broadcast had people jumping off of bridges thinking that aliens were taking over planet Earth?
Yeah, maybe they were a little more gullible.
People were a little more gullible back then. So now, it wasn't like some specific revolution or rebellion down there has made it so Des Moines kids can finally go out and have some fun on Halloween night with the rest of us. It's just that they were expecting heavy rain and thunderstorms last night, so city officials delayed trick-or-treating until tonight.
This is so weird.
Maybe it'll change. Maybe this is the spark they need.
Good question. So bad weather has moved trick-or-treating in Des Moines from last night to tonight, like the rest of us do it. So the dirty little Iowegian kids in Des Moines will be joining in with the rest of the normal people and going out tonight.
It's one of those things where I can't believe they didn't change this eventually, because it's 1938. Things were a lot different back then. We always see those stories where it's like, did you know in Delaware it was illegal for your grandma to use the bathtub until 1956? You hear about those bizarre laws. Surprised somebody didn't just say, hey, wait, this makes no sense.
1938, that was the silent generation. Did you guys know that? I did.
Whoa.
I've known that
Found
for
that
a very
out?
long time.
I think it was in the neighborhood of 20 minutes ago. The silent generation. Yeah, first I'd ever heard of it. So, by the way, down there in Des Moines, I guess the tradition was, and possibly still is, that when a kid comes to somebody's door for trick-or-treating, they can't just up and bark out trick-or-treat and expect a grown person to begin dumping candy into their little pillowcase. I'm sure you've heard this now and again, but it was a straight-up tradition, apparently in Des Moines. The kid also had to tell a joke. I have an Iowegian joke. You want to hear an Iowegian joke, Josh?
Of course. I'd love to.
A Minnesota gal got her purse snatched down there in Iowa, and the police rounded up a few Iowegian suspects. During the lineup at the police station, when the cops walked the lady into the room, one of the Iowegians stepped up and said, "Yeah, that's her. I recognized her right away."
They do things a little bit different down there.
Yeah. Things move a little slower around here.
You know, my mom and my mother, and then my grandmother on my paternal side are both Iowegians.
The minute I met your mother for the very first time, I could tell she was an Iowegian.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of an excuse. I'm like, oh, no, it's okay. She's from Iowa.
Everything about her screamed Iowegian. So anyways, they're going to go for it tonight in Des Moines. Partying on Halloween night just like the rest of us. Welcome to America, Des Moines.
I kind of want it to be like an absolute disaster, like a bunch of mayhem actually does go on.
300 people killed in Des Moines on Halloween.
And they're like, this is why. That's why we do this.
But will they go back to their old tradition of celebrating Halloween on the 30th next year, Josh? You said maybe this, and do you care?
You know, I had a thought after I said that other thought. Maybe it's actually a bummer for them there. I mean, it's their tradition, right? They're changing the tradition. Maybe they say, hey,
Right.
I want to go back to Beggars Night. I don't like this whole Halloween.
That's why they hung on to it for so long. It's because it became their niche-y thing, and then they enjoyed being a little bit different. Like Dana was wondering, how did this stick around for so long? They embraced it after a while. They enjoyed standing out.
You know, Dana would be the one to know because a lot of his bosses in the past have said, how is Dana stuck around this long? And then they fire him.
Right.
They finally come to their senses.
And then he found a home here.
I wonder, when I mentioned, back in 1938, maybe the mayor or whoever was running things in Des Moines said, things are getting a little too out of control. We're not going to be doing this Halloween gimmick. We'll do it the night before and like Josh mentioned, how they didn't assume, how did you put it again? The kids can just raise hell the night before instead of the 31st. What's the difference? But I wonder if there's some crazy stories as to what caused the change. They mentioned hooliganism. Were there some really serious problems down there? The story doesn't give out that kind of information.
Yeah, I want to know that too. Because maybe it's just silly stuff.
It could be. Since it was 1938, it could be, oh, God, they turned...
Cuss words.
Somebody used a swear word.
Yeah.
They turned over a turnip truck or something,
A gentleman wore his hat indoors.
Put his hat on backwards. Right. Who knows? But I'd like to hear those stories. Last night I went out for a short period of time to my neighborhood beer hall. It was the pumpkin carving contest, big party there at the Iowegian. And, of course, a bunch of my old pals are hanging around there drinking. And we started to talk about some of our wilder times on Halloween. And the one that probably stands out more than any other was when we swiped pumpkins off everyone's damn front step and then used them to bash mailboxes in all night long. And my God, we did some serious damage in our neighborhood. I bet we just completely pummeled somewhere around 40 mailboxes that night.
Oh, wow.
Impressive.
You get the mailbox, you get the pumpkin in the car, get the car up to top speed, and launch the pumpkin at the mailbox as you're passing it by. We never saw a cop the entire night. And had we been caught, we would have been in, as an old-timer in my neighborhood used to say, we would have been in deep yogurt.
Anybody here carve pumpkins this year?
Oh, we carved a couple last night, yeah.
Did you?
I bought the pumpkins. We never carved them.
God, we're bad parents. We were such better parents when we were, the big kids were little.
You haven't carved any jack-o'-lanterns?
No.
Well, see, I got lucky last night. There was a pumpkin carving contest, like I mentioned, and on the way out, I hollered at one of the pumpkin carving contestants. I said, "Do you want your pumpkin?" And they said no, so I took it. So I've got
what was it? What is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a funny face. It's nothing elaborate, but there you go. I've got my pumpkin candle in the sumbitch and everything ready to go.
My dad was awesome at it. He's the first person I saw where he didn't go all the way through, you know?
Oh, yeah.
He's the
Oh,
first
dude.
week. He could do all that kind of stuff.
I've known some great jack-o'-lantern artists over my day. I'm not an artist. Terrible.
Didn't you date a winner? I thought maybe there was, or maybe you were just, they were a part of your group.
One of my exes was outstanding at that type of thing, art in general. But she could carve a pumpkin that would knock your Aunt Connie's socks off.
What pumpkin won? Was it like
it was all very elaborate stuff. See, and Ashley, I'm glad you asked, because there's a lot of controversy at the Iowegian American Legion with their pumpkin carving contest. It's pumpkin carving. This is what a lot of the people say. Hey, it's a pumpkin carving contest, not a pumpkin decorating contest.
Oh, sure.
So you've got half the contestants, old school, carve their nuts off to make something really interesting. The others glue this and that to the top of the pumpkin and color the pumpkin and this. And so there's that rivalry, like tradition versus, what's the opposite of tradition, Josh?
New school?
New school type of it's a big thing. So the winner last night, I can't remember. There was one pumpkin that had been turned into a sandwich. You'd have to see it to fully understand it. There was one, my buddy Dougie, he and his daughter made one where the pumpkin has its face colored white and then has cucumbers on its eyes. What do you call that? Like a makeover?
Yeah, like a face mask.
Day.
Spa day type of a thing.
Cute. I like that idea.
I can't remember any of the. I can't remember who the winner was.
That's great.
Yeah.
I wish I always do the same thing. A very dumb face with triangle eyes, triangle nose, a mouth. I try and put a tooth in there, and the tooth always falls out.
That's all I'm capable of as well, Josh. That's all I'm capable of.
One year, a few years ago, I just carved NWO into the pumpkin.
Dude,
anybody get it?
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
New world order.
Bad timing. Jesus just sent a pumpkin spider. He made a spider on it. Said it was so thick he had to use power tools. I've seen that before. People use like a Dremel, like really go for it.
I've seen videos this year of people carving their pumpkins with like a pressure washer. That is
is
so
that right?
cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
The winning pumpkin. The pumpkin that I received last night from a pumpkin carving contestant. Two buddies of mine, Big Al and Greg, are the guys who worked on this pumpkin. They use a drill, Josh. So
they're pretty good.
They're very good. So if anybody wants to get in on the debate, pumpkin carving versus pumpkin decorating, 651-989-9393. I can share the results with the people at the Iowegian. Maybe we can finally squash this.
Somebody sent in some pumpkins they've done in the past, and they're great. There's one, they said, embarrass their family. It's a dog taking a dump.
Oh, that is so perfect, though. Like, that takes skill.
Are you looking at it?
Yeah.
I like this from Slip Disc Jesus. He said him and his wife said, hell of pumpkins. They carved a watermelon and a green pepper. And he sent pictures. It looks really cool, especially the green pepper. Looks like a little goblin type thing.
I'm jealous of folks who can do something like that and for Christ's sake, a pumpkin, a green pepper. What did you say? A watermelon? To be able to turn that into something that's incredible to me. By the way, back to the Des Moines, Iowa story, where for the first time since 1938, filthy Iowegian kids are going to go out trick-or-treating tonight on Halloween proper. They've been doing it since 1938 on the 30th of October for this reason or that reason, and they stuck with the tradition. But tonight, they're out with the rest of us. A listener texted in and said one of the other problems they have down there in Iowa on Halloween, and this is terrible, they say that the Iowegian parents are so dumb that they'd take their kids out for trick-or-treating and then send the kids to ring the doorbell at their own house. And then the kids would come back and say, well, nobody answered the door, and the Iowegian parents would say, well, aren't they the neighborhood pricks? sending their kids to their own. Go try that house. There's nobody there. Oh, what the hell?
No, we didn't get our candy yet either. We were grossly unprepared for this Halloween. I'm a little worried.
That surprises me.
Try and get it.
That surprises me that you hadn't gone out months ago because you buy Christmas gifts in June.
Oh yeah, I already bought 2.
I'm surprised you
for
didn't.
The show. 2, I bought plenty more for other people.
For people on the show, you've bought Christmas gifts already?
Yep.
I'm surprised you weren't Halloween candy shopping in April.
Well, we usually get it a little earlier, but so we got to make a run today and cross our fingers there's some left.
I have to go out and get those caramel apple suckers. I absolutely love those, and they only come
suckers.
They only come out this time of year too.
Those are so fire.
I'm a little upset at you, Josh, though, for bringing up my friggin' wife.
Why?
But I have to say,
she's wonderful.
She went out yesterday to buy some of that Halloween candy, and they were all out. So you know what we're handing out tonight? And I'm kind of excited because we only get like 3-4 stupid kids to the door, and then I get to eat the rest. Tonight we're handing out Pop-Tarts.
Oh,
That
that's
is
awesome.
sweet.
That's cool. I bet the kids will love that.
Yeah.
I think so, too. I mean, again, I know very little about children, but the friggin' wife seemed to be, she's like, they're all out of candy. All I got are these Pop-Tarts. And I said, don't feel bad. I think kids like something a little different.
I agree. You can only eat so many Butterfingers, you know? So let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
You can answer this question.
You go right ahead.
When can I go? Tell me when I'm ready to go.
Wait for it.
So my wife, she's got even a bigger sweet tooth than you do, Nick, right?
Yeah.
And so we've bought candy early, like maybe a month early in the past, and she always has me hide it because she doesn't trust herself, because what will she do when there's candy around her?
Your wife.
My wife.
When there's candy around her?
Right, when it's anywhere near her.
Chomp it up,
Yes,
just like I would.
She does. I legitimately have to hide it from her.
We should be sweet tooth lovers, she and I.
Oh, shoot. You guys would spend a lot of money on complex carbohydrates.
Sweet tooth lovers, the two of us. We go off on, lavish vacations when you and my friggin' wife aren't looking. But we don't cheat or anything. We just sit and eat pies and cookies and cupcakes and candies until the both of us are the size of a house.
Maybe we should have a platonic wife swap one of these days. What could your wife and I do platonically?
You guys could maybe get your finances in even better order. Isn't she good at
You
that?
know what we could actually do? We could learn how to be more efficient with various computer programs. I bet we'd have some fun doing that.
Ashley's right. The two
Better
of you,
workflows.
The two of you are both wonderful with money. So, yeah, you'd spend some time holding hands and refinancing houses and things like that. And also, what was just mentioned? Oh, computer skills. She has terrific computer skills.
We both like organization and
organization,
stuff like
technological, this and that.
workflows.
Yeah. You and me and your wife would be just going down on a banana cream pie together in the nude. All right, what else is going on around Halloween we were talking about? God, I had something and I lost it. Maybe it'll come back to me.
I'm a little distracted by people sending in various pumpkins wearing thongs with
Yeah.
the hands on the back.
With
Some of them have money in it. And
I keep showing all these to Ashley. She's dying over here.
I don't like that look.
The pumpkin's butthole is exposed?
Nick and I were
I've
just
seen
talking
that.
about that off the air. No thank you.
We were talking about what off the air?
That view.
Buttholes?
Yeah.
Pumpkin buttholes.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
any butthole.
Yeah. All right. Folks like to hit their neighborhood Goodwill for Halloween costume shopping. They have costumes for you there, too. And then there's always that dickhead who goes into Goodwill for the outdated clothing so they can make a wildly original move of going as a 70s guy for Halloween. Look, I'm wearing bell bottoms. Tell me how hilarious I am. Anyway. Everyone's talking about a Goodwill location in Ohio because they were apparently selling a car seat cover in their Halloween costume aisle. And there's a video out there for you. You can see this. A TikTok dork posted a video yesterday. You see the car seat cover hanging at the end of an aisle full of Halloween costumes. So I guess whoever was working that day when the car seat cover was donated, and thank you for your donation.
Your butt's been on that. Great.
Oh, yeah.
Donating a car seat cover. Anyway, whoever was working that day, I assume they couldn't make out what the hell they were dealing with, and they thought it was some kind of Halloween jumpsuit. I mean,
It kind of looks like a body bag, I guess.
yeah, I suppose. I think it would take me a while to figure it out. How often do you look at a car seat when it's not folded in half on your car seat?
Right, you know, it seems silly. Like, you read the headline, I'm like, oh, that's awful moronic. But yeah, when you look at it, maybe you don't know. Or it looks like maybe it's an Aquaman suit.
Someone texted in or whatever, commented on this story and said they thought it looked like Batman armor.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing it does look like.
But yeah, how often do you look at a car seat cover when it's not folded in half on a car seat?
And they get so much stuff in there, just a variety of things. Sometimes I bet it's tough to classify what's what.
What's really cute is there was a $25 price tag on it. So when in doubt, go ahead and charge $25 for it, even if you don't know what it is.
Seems kind of high, yeah.
It does a little bit.
But you're right, though. The amount of stuff they get dropped off each day at those places, Josh, insane.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, shoot, I don't know if I've ever been there to donate where there hasn't been a line.
Same here, yeah.
Sometimes it's basically ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, a lot of stuff. A lot of people swing by. I like to swing in there once in a while.
When I moved recently, I downsized a bunch of stuff, and I went and donated a few boxes of things, and one of them was a baseball bat that I had for some reason. I don't need a baseball bat at my age, and I go. Then after I donate, I go inside the store, see if I need anything, and there's nothing really like look, and I get out my car, I'm driving away, and I can see the guy who had taken my donations. He was outside the donation center just taking cuts with the baseball bat. I thought that was awesome.
You made his day, probably.
Yeah, just getting his cuts in.
I bet a lot of children benefited from the day Dana donated a whole bunch of stuff. And only children.
I saw that baseball bat, Dana, over there at the Goodwill. I was very interested in what it said on the bat. It said Savoy Special. What movie? 651-989-93. No, I'm kidding. You can send your pumpkin pictures in instead. The Natural, Robert Redford. Savoy Special.
My uncles used to watch that, I'd say weekly.
Is that right?
Yeah.
By the way, it says here Goodwill has been criticized in recent years on social media. Goodwill's being criticized for their prices. Some people believe it's become too expensive. I don't know.
I read some comments on this article, and people were saying the same thing.
I buy my pants over there now and again.
Mm-hmm.
You always could use a brand new pair of pants. You know, we were talking about trick-or-treating. We have been now and again, up and down, so far this morning on the program. Mom Plowing Jesus has texted into the show. I think he's gotten involved ever since I mentioned that tonight at my house, me and the friggin' wife will be handing Pop-Tarts out to the little bastards. Mom Plowing Jesus, you want to know what he's handing out tonight, Cubby?
What did he say?
Little boxes of cereal.
Oh, dude. Good.
That's another good one.
Great.
A box of cereal.
I liked when people did bags of popcorn and stuff, too.
Oh, like the popcorn balls? I loved those.
Well, I was telling Nick, we had the Cub Scouts stop by, or Boy Scout, I don't know, some Scout. They stopped by and they were selling popcorn. That's never happened. It's always been Girl Scout cookies.
Popcorn.
I sold the popcorn when my 1.5 years as a Boy Scout.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my wife bought a bunch of the cheesy stuff.
Yeah,
that is the best stuff. That just happened to me not too long ago, too, Josh. They were also selling Christmas wreaths.
Oh, yeah, I always buy the wreaths. And then
here we go.
Oh, no. And then I forget to put them up. And
Yep.
You know my story, right?
About the wreath?
A few years ago, here comes the neighborhood Cub Scout leader, Boy Scout leader, whoever the hell they are, and a kid.
The Scoutmaster.
And they come to the door and they said, what do you think there? You want to buy a Christmas wreath from us? I said, sure. I like to support the neighborhood, whoever you people are, Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts.
One of my favorite whatever you are.
And they said, well, we need, whatever, $25 in trade. I handed the kid $25. They said, yeah, we'll be back in a few weeks with your Christmas wreath. This was around Thanksgiving. I said, I can't wait to get my Christmas. They never showed up with the Christmas wreath. The following year around Thanksgiving, the same two walk up on my front door. Here's that Scoutmaster and the little kid. And before they said a word, I opened the door and I said, I never got my wreath from last year. And they both were totally shocked. What? I said, I gave you $25. You didn't give me dick.
Did they make it right?
Yes.
That's good.
They set out to make it right. They handed a player his Christmas wreath. And that one was free. Because I gave the Peckerheads $25 the year prior. Make it right.
I don't know, but I liked it.
It's our Friday.
If you're south of New Jersey, and I don't know why you would be, if you're in South New Jersey, don't expect to see the cool Halloween light show at a setup called the Glow Spooky Speedway Drive-Thru Halloween Show. Did you hear that? The title of the joint?
That's too much. That's too many words in that title.
The Glow Spooky Speedway Drive-Thru Halloween Light Show. Don't go there, because it's going to be pitch black. Because some derelict upped and swiped the generator that powered the whole effing schmear.
Come on, man.
He did. The generator's gone. The show's over, kids. We only had one decent generator in this friggin' town, and some meth head took it.
That sucks. I love those big light shows.
Do you?
Yeah, like an electrician's union or something will put one on in a park somewhere, and you just drive through that. Those are great.
This puke bag was caught on video. Dude's wearing sunglasses. He was captured on camera snatching the generator right off the property, broad daylight. $5,000 generator, they say.
Whoa. It's like the Grinch, but for Halloween.
Kids are crying up and down in the neighborhood because there's no Halloween light show, all because some meth addict can't just be a regular member of society.
You know, there's a few things I've always wanted, and none of them make any sense why I would have them. But one is a generator. I think I've had a blackout once in my life. I mean, and I've lived a lot of places. I think only one time for maybe an hour we had a blackout, but I always think, I need a whole home generator.
Tune that sumbitch up, Cubby. Do me a favor. Do me and a lot of other people a favor. If you have that generator, keep her tuned up, because there's nothing worse than camping next to some dickhead who's got the loudest, broken down garbage generator, and you're trying to sleep, and the sumbitch is going.
Well, we had
my God.
We had generator issues here. Remember I don't know if it was a power pole that got struck by lightning or a car. I can't remember exactly what happened, but the whole building goes down. And remember, we were off the air because they forgot to put gas in the generator.
Yeah. In the backup generator.
Oh, right.
We've got two giant generators out back that can, power everything, but they forgot to fill them up.
Such a joke.
I love how we were just sitting out there with the KQ morning show, and we're like, all right, so what do we do now?
Just kind of sat there.
Sitting in there in the dark.
Assuming that it would come back on. The generator should kick on any second.
Here we go.
One year we were out at Rockfest. We went out to Rockfest, and I think they called the place Cadott, Wisconsin.
That's correct.
And we were camping next to some donkey who had a broken, chattering, sputtering, louder than the second coming of Christ generator. And after a couple days, one of my buddies snapped and just beat the piss out of his generator and killed it while the guy wasn't looking.
I get it.
We just couldn't take it. It was so loud. And it was hotter than hell that weekend, so the guy had it pumping all weekend long to try to cool down his equally garbage camper. And our neighbor with the piss poor generator, he left to go see the Red Rocker.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet he put on a great show.
We were too drunk to go see Sammy Hagar, but that's exactly what my buddy said. He said, dickhead over here left to go see the Red Rocker and left his friggin' generator. Next thing you know, he pulls the gas line out of it, just vandalized the hell out of it. The neighbor, he never said a word to us. He must have known we were the ones who murdered his generator.
Yeah, he knew what was coming.
He never said a word. Friggin' Red Rocker.
Never seen him.
Oh.
Even today, the guy can still do it. Have you watched any of some of his tour that he's been on?
No.
With Joe Satriani and everything?
No, I have not. I saw him in person 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years ago.
How was he back then?
Unbelievable. Again, I'm sure you remember this, Josh. Sam Hagar and his Cabo Wabo Nutbag Band, whatever he calls that setup, came to Wayzata and played at Wayzata Beach.
Is that like owned by a rich guy, or is that a public beach?
Public beach. But some rich
isn't
guy.
There a rich guy that always has big time concerts?
Yeah, that was the story. This rich guy was funding all these bands. I think Toby Keith and who else showed up? What was his name from the Eagles? He wears a wig now. He's still alive. Don Felder showed up once, and he had a wig on and he lip synced. Anyway.
Really had a wig on?
Oh, yeah. And
Dana's got a wig on.
You do.
Dana wears a wig, too. So Sam Hagar shows up, and Michael Anthony, of course, from Van Halen, is his bass player, right? So you got I don't know how many people were at the show, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 people. Sam Hagar and Michael Anthony were the two drunkest people at the entire show.
Oh, really?
But they put on an awesome show. They were perfect. But I thought it was pretty impressive that you can be the two drunkest guys amongst 7,000 people. You're also in your 70s, but you put on an unbelievable show.
I'll tell you what, they still can. I think you'd like watching some of those videos because they're not only putting out videos of their shows, but all the rehearsals and things like that.
All right, we got to get to this because I find it so hilarious and ridiculous. We're going to talk about makeup here for a minute or two.
All right, let's go. My time to shine.
You know a lot about makeup, do you?
A little bit. Like what I'm supposed to know as a woman, I guess.
And despite our Halloween theme this morning, we're not talking Halloween makeup like, say, you're going out tonight as Frankenstein or Shaggy 2 Dope. You know, from the Insane Clown Posse. Mm-hmm. I thought that'd be a bigger hit. I thought that would go over a lot bigger, Josh, to mention Shaggy 2 Dope.
It's been a while since I thought about the Insane Clown.
I was always more of a Violent J guy.
So you know who I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But you said nothing. Write that down, Josh.
WWF Superstars.
He knew WCW Superstars.
Wait, so am I writing Dana?
Write down
Dana knows nothing or said nothing?
Dana knew who Shaggy 2 Dope was, but he made no sound just to make me look bad. Write that down.
He left you hanging.
I think they're even in the WWE Hall of Fame.
I thought it was WCW.
They came out with the oddities. Remember that group?
Yeah.
But wait a minute. Of course, now they would be in the WWE Hall of Fame because there's no such thing as WCW because WWE bought them. Yep. But they wrestled on the WWE?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was... And it doesn't matter.
I had to...
Now we don't have time for the story.
I didn't have time even to write down the full notes. So I just want to make sure I wrote the right thing. So Dana is hung?
No.
Oh, Dana left Nick hanging.
Hanging.
God, I need more time.
We're not talking about Halloween makeup. We're talking about the kind of makeup that ladies wear, which is the same type of makeup that Dana smears on his face when he's alone in his apartment writing names on his kill list.
When he's hot Tish.
Beauty and fashion type makeup, don't you know? That's what we're talking about. Here's the deal. The latest trend for the young ladies out there is to do themselves up, and I can't believe I'm going to say this. The young gals are using high-end cosmetics to copycat the look of that now famous baby hippo by the name of Moo Dang.
Everybody wants to wear the trendiest costume, so get ready to see a lot of sexy Moo Dangs this year.
Would you dress yourself up like...
Wait a minute. Did I misunderstand? I thought it was makeup.
You are right.
Oh.
It's just a related joke.
Dude made a joke there about they're dressing up as Moo Dang for Halloween.
Yes.
What were you going to ask somebody?
Ashley, would you ever do that? I know you're a big fan of that little hippo.
Yes, I'm actually so jealous that I didn't think of this. Because I watched a video yesterday last night, and it was somebody doing the whole cosmetic with their whole they actually looked like a hippo. It was crazy, and I'm mad that I didn't think to do that. It's so great.
I'm kind of glad you didn't think to do that.
Why? You don't think I can pull it off?
Oh, I'm not saying that at all. That's weird that you would go there.
Zombie Jesus has texted in on the topic of Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope from the Insane Clown Posse. He says, Violent J's girlfriend is hot. Shaggy 2 Dope's wife isn't too bad to look at either.
Oh, I'll have to check that out.
Great update.
Okay. Young gals are doing their makeup to look like Moo Dang the baby hippo. Moo Dang makeup is the slogan. The young gals say that Moo Dang has a glow about her, and they want that look too. They do. They want that soaking wet baby hippo look, Cubby.
She does look very moisturized.
Moo Dang is now glam's most influential it girl.
I love this.
So here's what I saw on the godless, soulless, evil internet. Some young, wildly popular social media makeup influencer type of a kid said about Moo Dang, Again, a baby hippo that sleeps in her own feces. The gal said she has everything. Dewy skin, a great halo eye, whatever that means, and a zest for life.
How do you know?
I truly hope that Moo Dang knows the impact she has on the world.
Sadly, she has no idea.
This is frightening, isn't it? Is anyone else scared?
Oh, it's a little weird. That's kind of what I meant, Ashley, when I said I'm glad you didn't have that idea.
Because people are going a little bit too far with the Moo Dang vibe.
Might be a little too much.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Josh.
What?
It says here that Moo Dang's fast track to fame has its dark side.
What?
Unhinged Moo Dang fans have been reportedly harassing her at whatever zoo she lives in. They've been throwing things at her while she's trying to sleep. She's trying to take a little baby hippo nap, and they're throwing things at her, so then she'll pop her head up and they can get a cute picture.
That frustrates me.
Fans savagely swarm her enclosure. The director at the zoo says he's going to start dishing out choke slams to 11-year-olds if they don't leave Moo Dang alone.
That would be so badass.
And Moo Dang is acting differently, too. She's had a couple babies now with Kevin Federline.
Oh, boy.
And she smokes cigarettes now, and she's planning to release a sex tape.
Oh, no.
Josh, would you consider taking your teenage daughter to see a psychologist if you walked into her bedroom and she was doing her makeup to make herself look more like a hippopotamus?
I would certainly ask my wife some questions. Is this a common stage of adolescence for young ladies, or am I overreacting here?
We all go through like a 2-year stage where we're obsessed with baby hippos, yes.
What about some of the other popular internet animals? I think we've heard of this guy, Pesto, the 49-pound baby penguin.
Oh, yeah, we just learned about him not too long ago.
Is he dating Demi Moore or anything? What about
Kim Kardashian, actually.
What about Crumbles, the 38-pound cat from Russia?
That's a big cat. Did you see, pictures of people holding up that cat?
I have not seen Crumbles, the Russian fat cat. No, I have not.
It does not look real.
Yeah, you would love this cat.
He's adorable.
Except that he's Russian. Josh said. We got to get going here. It's a time to do sports.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
You know what I love about Halloween? It's the one night of the year chicks use to unleash their inner hoe bag.
Dunkin' Donuts is getting plenty of attention over its Halloween spider donut after the official Dunkin' Instagram account posted promos saying things like, "Your girl said I'm not so itsy-bitsy." Classic marketing strategy, according to the old advertising maxim. Step 1, know your product. Step 2, imply your product is banging the customer's wife.
I was checking the kids' candy for poisons and razor blades. Hold on, kids, you can't eat that yet. I got to check in for poisons and razor blades. They come down later on. Where's all our candy? And we live in a pretty bad neighborhood, I'll be honest with you. I swear we're going to move next year, I promise you. They ruined everything? No, not everything. They didn't touch that box of raisins in there, but they... Tell you what, them Butterfingers, they was riddled with poisons in there.
Larry, the cable guy, huh?
Yeah, chiming in on Halloween.
You ever hear the way he talks about his sister?
No.
Yeah.
Good Lord, he says. When he tells a story about his sister, he always says, "Good Lord." I guess she's a bigger gal, according to Larry, the cable guy. All right. World Series is over. Isn't that nice?
Kind of nice to be done. You're
Yeah.
right.
I'm glad it's over.
I'm glad the Yankees lost.
Yep, get them out of here.
It went the way I think most of us wanted it to go.
I wouldn't mind it a Game 6 on Friday night.
No. Friday night, Wolves play the Denver Nuggets. I'm glad it's over. The Los Angeles Dodgers got her done. And hilariously, they really only had an opportunity to win last night's game, the Dodgers, because the Yankees were playing like a bunch of drunks. 3 errors in 1/2 inning. They were awful. The Yankees were awful.
They started strong. Yeah, it just whatever reason maybe they thought the game's already won.
Watching Garrett Cole forget to cover first base on that ground ball with the bases loaded, that was hilarious stuff. Good for you. I'm not a big Dodgers fan by any stretch, but good for you. Anyone who can go ahead and beat the Yankees in a meaningful game, I'm on board. Randy Shaver will be joining us in a half hour. we'll get into it. Also in a half hour, what do you call him again? Andrew DePaola, long snapper for the Minnesota Vikings. He'll jump on the phone with us, talk about that game they got coming up on Sunday night. Thursday night football, again with the New York. The Jets play the friggin' Houston Texans. That's what's going on there. And before we go, we got to move on, get to Josh's stupid news report here in a minute. But we had a conversation a few minutes ago about little gals, young gals, teenage gals. Here's what they're into these days. They are buying makeup and doing their best to make themselves up to look like Luol Deng. Oh, no, he played for the Timberwolves. What's the name of it?
Mo Deng.
They're not making themselves up to look like a former member of the Timberwolves, Luol Deng. They're making themselves up to look like Moo Deng, the baby hippo, who's an internet sensation. That's the new trend. Young gals are making their faces up to try to glow like Moo Deng, the baby hippo. Got a text message here, Josh. Oh, my God. It says, it's interesting that little girls are using makeup to try and look more like a baby hippo because makeup companies use baby hippos to create the makeup.
Oh.
Is that true? Are they grinding up baby hippos?
Yeah, I'm sure they tested on baby hippos.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, they just test the makeup.
Spray perfume and stuff in their eyes, which has really nothing to do with tests. That's just kind of for fun.
Oh, God.
Have you ever seen a baby hippo sneeze?
I have not.
OMG.
It's adorable.
Is that an OMG moment for you?
It sure is.
When a baby hippo cuts loose with a sneeze. We got to take a break, come back for Josh's news report.
Half-assed morning show. They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act. They're a nuisance. 93X.
Our technicians are geared up and ready to make sure your system is running reliably this winter. Regular maintenance from Standard Heating and Air Conditioning helps prevent costlier breakdowns in the future, and we know they always happen at the worst time.
Hey, Ashley here. Get your home ready for winter. Schedule your furnace tune-up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning and save $30. Have a boiler? Save $40 on your boiler tune-up. Visit standardheating.com to book and lock in your savings. Stay cozy, stay ready.
Named one of the best personal finance podcasts, The Stacking Benjamin Show with Joe and his friends makes financial literacy fun.
I thought I can just keep spending money, however, do this back of the envelope math if I just cover it by making more money. The three words that make me groan the loudest that broke people say is, I deserve it. I was saying it all the time. Well, I deserve a night out. I don't have any money, but I'll take my last dollars and do a night at a restaurant.
Find out more by searching the Stacking Benjamins podcast, wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
So we're standing outside the Moncrief bail bond office in Orlando. You can see just how close it is to the Orange County Jail. It's just across the street. Now, investigators say in the jail it was common knowledge you could exchange sexual favors for a bond.
Bond. Bail bond. The central theme of a scandal leaving a Florida city shaken and the rumor mill stirred. A 75-year-old bail bondsman's now behind bars himself after authorities uncovered a years-long scheme with a disturbing twist. He'd been bailing women out of jail, but not out of the kindness of his heart. He paid women to get out of jail in exchange for sex.
Is that how he did it?
Former inmates say his reputation preceded him. Women in county jails would even share the bondsman's name and code word they used when calling him, like, I'll wash your car or I'll clean your house. They weren't offers for housekeeping, though.
Those real tasks sound very helpful as well.
They do.
Just
They
for
do.
the record. But
I'd probably take them up on that.
Yeah.
They were code for agreeing to trade bail for sex. Despite the fact these women had no cash or collateral, he'd often set them free, no questions asked. But if a guy inmate tried the same call, he'd turn them away.
He did?
Authorities had had enough. Over the summer, they raided his offices, tapped his phones, and set up surveillance, finally swooping in to arrest him this past Tuesday. And in an ironic twist, this time he's the one sitting behind bars, that is, and he's being held without bond.
The fun's over now, huh?
It's all done.
Did he have
75, and it had been going on for decades, they think.
Did he have a wife or anything like that?
It didn't say.
Oh, well, what a way to make a living. Caged heat, they call it, Cubby.
Yeah, I've heard the term. We now have more information on a story we shared earlier this week about a Georgia town's police department's being forced to issue a statement advising people to refrain from engaging in sexual activities near local businesses. And that new info is pretty spicy. Turns out it was two women on a road trip to, quote, reconcile their relationship in Livonia, Georgia last week, who were caught scissoring. Cops received a report of indecent exposure at the rear of Raceway gas station. This was on a patch of grass between the station and a nearby McDonald's. Responding officers found one woman on top of the other, with both having their pants down, exposing their privates. According to investigators, one was sitting upright, pants down, on the other's exposed vagina, apparently in the act when officers arrived in broad daylight on the grass beside the street. The woman, a 49-year-old and 37-year-old, were arrested for public indecency and booked into the county jail. In a Facebook post, police suggested that if the individuals felt tempted to, quote, reconcile with the partner, they should get a room or go home.
That is scorching hot stuff right there.
They wanted to patch things up, and they had to have each other. They scissored right there in the middle of the day.
Has camsoda.com offered them a movie deal yet?
Well, after looking at their mugshots, I'm going to say no.
What are you?
Oh, darn.
I am going to, and I'm not criticizing. I'm just suggesting maybe that's not their normal cup of tea.
Right there in the middle of a patch of grass, as you said, they just cut loose with that scissoring.
Somebody's trying to get a Big Mac, and they look over, and that's what they saw.
Big Mac in a show.
Yeah, shoot. Yeah, I guess. I'd still want to see it. You know?
Oh, yeah.
A fiery two-vehicle crash in Louisiana was caused by a driver playing a TikTok game called Drift, and apparently playing it very poorly. Officers responded Monday to calls about a vehicle weaving in and out of traffic and brake-checking other drivers. As the vehicle neared an intersection, it ran off the road, crossed the median, struck a vehicle traveling in the opposite direction, and caught fire.
Nice work.
Police said based on statements from witnesses and the drivers involved, the vehicle was playing a drift game or challenge on TikTok and YouTube, during which the driver lost control. They said the challenge involves intentionally oversteering to lose traction.
People who are posting these things on TikTok and other social media platforms who have no responsibility for and do not care about your children are giving them examples that entice children to follow them. And we have accidents just like this.
Luckily, no serious injuries were reported, but a police spokesperson said one young driver found out this evening these challenges have real-life consequences. Police encourage parents to research drift and double drift online and caution driving-age teens against the dangerous activity.
That is so friggin' insanely stupid. I can't get enough of it.
There's so many dumb challenges on there. I don't get it. And they get people to do them.
Yep.
A 14-year-old Indiana boy came face-to-face with an unexpected intruder who turned his family's home into a personal hangout, cooking pizza bites, napping, feeding his dog, and even defecating in a decorative container while they were away.
Oh, not in a...
Why not a toilet? He's using the oven. He's using other things like that. He can't use a toilet to cut a deuce?
Yeah, the mom brings that up.
Disrespectful.
Picturing like some great-grandma's old antique dish, serving dish or something.
I want to crap in here. After being dropped off at home by a friend's father, a local vice principal, the boy sees the intruder inside and quickly returns to the friend's car, hopping hedges and bolting to get help from the friend's father.
Yeah, scary.
Not only a vice principal, but a badass Marine veteran.
Oh, snap.
Doorbell camera footage shows the Marine running up to the door with a handgun drawn and entering. "Hey," he's heard saying forcefully as he enters, "you're going to get shot."
I told him to wait there, and I backed up and just grabbed my gun and went in. He said, "Don't shoot me, I'm not dangerous." And I said, "Well, you're robbing my friend's house, so don't tell me you're not dangerous."
The boy's mom told reporters the intruder had fallen through the attic, then taken a shower, eaten pizza rolls, and then fed the dog while camping out in the empty home.
Fell through the attic, huh?
Yeah. He also had pooped in a decorative container, despite the house having multiple toilets, the mom said.
Frustrating.
Police said the intruder had apparently cased the home for a few days to make sure the family was away after meeting her husband to discuss an item he had for sale. That's how he decided this was the home he wanted to rob.
Okay.
Once inside, he searched for the item in the attic and fell through, leaving a giant hole in the ceiling and a mess, which included the aforementioned poop. Finally, when the intruder was arrested, he offered cops $100 to let him go, which added a bribery charge to his burglary and criminal mischief charge.
Pretty enticing, though, you got to admit.
$100. $100.
Yeah.
That's not my container you craft in. All right, I'll take that $100. Christmas is coming up. A 220-pound boar went on a rampage through a South Korean railway station Tuesday, even biting an unsuspecting man who happened to be in a mid-bathroom break.
Oh.
The beast first appeared
Didn't
near...
bite him on the pecker, did it?
No, on the arm.
Oh.
The beast first appeared near a restaurant about 4:45 p.m. and somehow navigated an 8-lane highway unscathed before making its way to Metro Line number 2. Once inside, it targeted a 50-year-old man, sinking its teeth into his right arm as, yes, he was going number 2.
Oh, God, that's awesome.
Not stopping there, the boar broke a glass door at the customer service center, 1 floor up, before officials finally got a handle on the situation. Police and fire authorities are investigating how that wild boar ended up in a downtown area.
That dude sitting on the John, last friggin' thing he had in mind, I bet.
That'd be so terrifying.
Sir, I'm using the bathroom and it's a friggin' wild boar.
Did I do acid and forgot?
A disgruntled former Disney employee repeatedly hacked into a third-party menu creation software used by Disney World's restaurants. He changed allergy information to falsely state food containing peanuts were safe for people with allergies. He added profanity to menus. And at one point, he changed all the fonts to wingdings. A font made up of symbols and icons rather than letters or numbers when applied to regular text makes the content unreadable. The former employee worked at Disney as a menu production manager, responsible for creating and publishing menus for the company's restaurants. He was fired in June for alleged misconduct, and the termination was contentious. After accessing a proprietary menu creation and inventory system used to print restaurant menus, he manipulated allergen information, adding false safety indicators for peanut allergies, which officials said could have been deadly if the altered menus weren't caught by Disney before distribution. After the incident, Disney reset the logins, but the suspect was able to hack back in and manufacture much more menu mayhem. On another occasion, the suspect hacked a separate server to print big menus displayed outside restaurants, redirecting QR codes to activist websites. The complaint also states he locked out at least 14 employees from their accounts, kept a folder with personal information about 4 employees, and one night even showed up at an employee's home.
Man, I'd like to read the menu that he altered by using foul language. So, say, did mozzarella sticks suddenly become mother effing mozzarella sticks or something
like
along those
mozzarella dicks, yeah.
Oh.
Or like
that's fun.
Fartichoke dip or something.
Okay, I see where he went now.
Yeah. Pink tacos. Yeah, I mean, you could go anywhere.
Absolutely.
Fartichoke dip is good.
I wish they did tell us what he said.
Yeah.
That would make it a lot more fun. A true pizza enthusiast has taken his love for Pizza Ranch to the upper crust. On Tuesday, the 38-year-old from Davenport, Iowa, visited the Pizza Ranch in Sioux Center, Iowa.
Sioux Center.
Yes, making that his 244th and final restaurant on his coast-to-coast pizza list. The quest is complete, he said that night, and he never got tired of nonstop pizza.
Do you ever get sick of Pizza Ranch? And I say, I know my limits, but I never get tired of the food.
He loves the food.
I wish I would have came from money.
I like this guy.
Well, you know what? He didn't. And he scratched.
How do you tour the world eating pizza and keep a job?
Well, he didn't have to drive too far. A lot of the locations, he said, weren't terribly far. But what he would do is he would scrape together money he made as a janitor, and that's primarily what he put his money into, his Pizza Ranch. His Pizza Ranch visits began in 2014 as a fun thing to do with his girlfriend, he said. She also loved the chain. Then the relationship ended, but he kept going.
What do you mean the relationship ended?
I know. It shocked all of us. He turned it into a pizza pilgrimage. His pizza quest has taken him across the U.S., including stops at all 44 Minnesota locations. To commemorate his dedication, the Sioux Center Pizza Ranch awarded him a plaque recognizing his dedication.
Do you think after him and his girlfriend split up, it was a little hard at the first couple pizza ranches he went to?
He was crying in his pepperoni.
Nobody's ever in a bad mood at a pizza ranch, Ashley.
That's a good point.
The artisanal cheese community in the UK has been rocked by the, quote, great cheese heist of 2024.
You don't need to tell me about this.
Scammers walked away with over $389,000 worth of premium cheddar. I didn't know there was a premium cheddar. And my goodness, is it expensive. A London-based cheesemaker got tricked by a fake buyer posing as a major French distributor, resulting in the loss of 950 wheels, over 48,000 pounds of rare cheddars from top English and Welsh producers. The crime hits close to home there, as authentic cheddar is a national pride item in the UK. Officials calling the theft a real shame and pointing out that only a handful of real cheddar makers exist. For now, the mystery remains, where did all that cheddar go? And there's speculation it might end up in places where people, quote, won't ask questions, like the Middle East or Russia.
Maybe somebody just really likes cheese.
That's one of the silliest damn things I've ever heard right there.
It's a major scandal. You know, it's weird. It's like, I saw the story, I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. And it's like all over the place. This is a major deal over there, apparently. Although I have like for a holiday or something, I thought, oh, I'm going to buy a wheel of cheese.
Oh, dude, no.
It's like over $100 for some of those things.
Uh-huh.
And I've heard you can spend even more if you really want
yeah.
to. The St. Cloud Police Department's warning residents about another phone scam where callers are impersonating officers.
Hello.
For over a week, the department's getting calls from people saying they've been contacted by scammers pretending to be St. Cloud police. They claim their targets need to pay overdue fines or bail money to avoid a warrant for their arrest. A police spokesperson stated they don't collect bail money or receive payments to prevent warrants or overdue fines for criminal or traffic offenses.
Fake cops calling you on the telephone?
Yeah, wanting a couple bucks.
And most people in St. Cloud would assume there's a good chance they do have a warrant out, so they would probably be willing to pay.
You know, I think you're onto something there.
You guys ever talk on the telephone with Blade from the mailroom?
No, but I've heard his conversations.
Yeah, you got to talk to that dude.
Yeah. Sometimes he talks to some real flatliners. And he likes to drink at work. So what? It's a Saturday.
Mailroom, this is Blade. Was it Blade, right? Wasn't it Blade?
Yeah, I think it was Blade.
How can I help you?
The Halloween edition of Thursday Night Football features the Jets hosting the Texans. Now streaming on Netflix. Amid an international crisis, a career diplomat juggles her new high-profile job as ambassador to the United Kingdom and her turbulent marriage to a political star in Season 2 of The Diplomat. I enjoyed that show.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited.
It's pretty good. And now on Peacock, the streaming premiere of Despicable Me 4.
La la.
Congratulations to Tig Welder Jesus, getting married tomorrow from Kneeboard Jesus. But you didn't mean not to, Jesus, text in to say, can I get a happy birthday to my nephew Tyler, who's turning either 27, 28, 29, or I don't know, maybe it's 30 today. Yes, happy birthday, Tyler. Happy Saturday birthday to Northwoods Cop Jesus from Tonka TIG Welding Jesus. Happy 21st birthday to Tiffany and Ashley. Happy birthday to you. And that's 93X News.
The Minnesota Vikings interview.
That's more encroachment when you go that far. You go what? That's more than encroachment.
Touchdown! Vikings win it! On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The heating up Judge, who settles into this ball, but then drops it. Can Hernandez get to the bag before the throw? He does! On a routine play, Aaron Judge just flubs it in center field, and the Dodgers catch a huge break right there. Ground ball right side, Rizzo. Nobody at first! Incredible! Atrocious defense from the Yankees, leading directly to a Dodger run in the fifth. Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
You bet. We'll talk about the Yankees wetting the bed a little bit later on in the program. First things first, happy Halloween, Randy Shaver.
Same to you.
And happy Halloween, Minnesota Vikings starting long snapper Andrew DePaola.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Pretty scary, huh?
Pretty scary. What's scary?
Halloween.
He was about to go along with it, and he's like, wait, what?
Oh, man.
All right, now, how old's your oldest kid, Andrew?
5.
5. Okay, so you're probably going to be out trick-or-treating.
Yeah, if the weather clears up.
The weather's
pretty nasty
Yeah, it's
right
probably
now.
it's not perfect.
It's going to be like Lambeau.
Yeah.
It's going to be like Lambeau Field out there tonight. Well, it's supposed to be pretty piss poor all day long, but maybe dry up in time for you to wander around. So you'll be going out trick-or-treating. Do you dress up too, Andrew?
No, not Not usually. If we have like a family costume, yeah, absolutely. But, our kids all want to be different things, so we're just like, let them go, let them have at it, and I'll just be the dad.
Would you ever consider wearing your uniform? The whole thing?
Hilarious.
Because I bet people would think that was awesome. I know you'd feel dorky, but I bet people would think that was really cool.
I would if it weren't for, people still wouldn't even know who I was. They'd be like, wow, that's really legit. Like, you've got the whole thing there.
This guy's a big Vikings fan.
That would be the beauty of the bit, right? I mean...
what made me think of it is a couple of years ago, a friend of mine's a police officer, and we get together with his family every year, and we do the trick-or-treating thing, and so he had to come straight from work, and he didn't have time to change into street clothes, and so he's walking around in his uniform, and everyone's like, oh my God, that is so good.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like a legit police uniform.
Friggin' realistic as all hell, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So how many kids will you be hauling around with you tonight, then?
4.
Oh, wow, yeah. That'll keep you busy.
That will.
It's going to be cold tonight, too, so that's going to be tough.
Yeah, he's a tough sumbitch. He plays in the NFL, Randy Shaver. He can handle a little cold weather.
That's going to be tough.
Oh, what about you, Randy Shaver? You'll just be sitting there fetching the door?
Actually, no, I'm going over to my son's house to hand out candy while they take Bella out for the first time, trick-or-treating. So I'm going to go over and watch Rocco and hand out candy. But,
these are grandchildren, Bella and Rocco.
Right. Yep. And with the weather the way it is, who knows how many kids will be out and about tonight. It's going to be pretty cold.
Maybe you won't even open the door. Just hey, look, it's too cold to open the door.
Yeah, I might just turn the light off and, ignore everybody. So,
how old is this grandkid that's going out on the first trick-or-treating escapade?
She just turned 2.
2?
Oh my gosh, already?
And she's dressed up as a witch. She calls herself a bitch. with a V. Yes. She can't say the W.
You should hear how my nephew used to say ice cream.
Can you share?
Yeah, ass cream.
Oh, that's great.
No, that's totally different.
Exactly.
Can I have a bowl of ass cream? Yeah, dude, coming right up. Give me 10 minutes. Oh, so there you go. Randy Shaver celebrating Halloween tonight. Andrew DePaola will be out and about, and we hope everything goes wonderfully. Was Halloween a big thing for you when you were a kid, Andrew?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't huge, but I guess it was just as big as anybody else, I would assume.
And then when you got to be a teenager, did you run around just raising all levels of hell and, getting in fights and drinking beer and
it sounds like
vandalizing the neighborhood?
I've told you, my hometown, it wasn't really easy to get into trouble like that. We really had to go and find it. Where I grew up, there was one neighborhood with a bunch of townhomes, and that was kind of where everyone went to trick-or-treat. But they did a really good job of, policing it, making sure everybody was, respectful and stayed in line. So it wasn't like there were multiple neighborhoods that people went to. It was that was kind of the place.
Yeah.
And that was really it.
What about your neighborhood growing up, Randy Shaver? Buck wild?
It wasn't crazy, but Halloween was a big deal when I was growing up anyway. I mean, it was all about taking the pillowcase.
Yeah.
And running around and trying to get as much candy as you could. There was always a strategy to it. You would have 2 or 3 buddies, and we would split up instead of go together, and we would try to hit some of the neighborhoods that we thought was going to hand out the better candy.
Right.
In quotes.
You go to the high end of town, yeah.
Yeah, right. So, and then we'd all gather in one place when we were done and pour it all out and then share it. So that was Halloween was a big deal growing up.
We were telling an Iowegian Halloween story earlier on this morning. Andrew DePaola, I don't know if you're aware of this, Randy Shaver, he's an Iowegian. You got any thoughts on that?
Do I have any thoughts? Not really.
Okay, you don't have anything to say about Iowegians? Fine, I'll do all the talking then. Randy Shaver, maybe you knew this. In Des Moines, Iowa, for the first time, tonight, for the first time since 1938, children will be trick-or-treating on Halloween proper. Do you know this?
On the actual night itself?
Yes. since 1938, it's been a thing in Des Moines to trick-or-treat on the 30th. Someone back in 1938, the mayor or something like that, decided that the young people were getting too squirrely on Halloween proper, too out of control. So somehow they thought it would curb the problem by not allowing children to go out on the 31st. They're going to go out on the 30th. The reason it's changed this year is a terrible thunderstorm was expected last night to roll through Des Moines. So for the first time since 1938, they're sending the kids out tonight. I thought, being an Iowegian, you might know that little historical story.
I did know a little bit about that because in Iowa there was always a story about Des Moines having Halloween early. I didn't realize that was the reason why. But yes, I did know about that.
Yeah. Man, that's the story down there.
I mean, we used to, I can remember them changing the day to a Saturday sometimes, if for weather reasons or whatever, that if the weather on Halloween was going to be bad, and if it was a Friday, they would move it to a Saturday or something. But that didn't happen very often.
All right. Favorite scary movie, Andrew DePaola?
Oh, I hate them all.
I'm with you. I hate them too.
I'm terrified.
Oh, really? Is there one? What about one that gets you more than others, that terrifies you the most? Or maybe you don't watch it.
For me, like the supernatural stuff, like I can kind of like just be like, all right, this is not real, like this will never happen. But like the real ones, where people are getting murdered, like, nah, nope.
Is that the same theory you have, Randy Shaver, or same way of looking at it that you have, Randy?
The worst movie I ever saw was the original Halloween, and scared the hell out of me. And so I am not a scary movie person. I do not watch them. Even if I'm with people who want to watch them, I will find something else to do. I can't watch them.
I wonder.
I'm with Andrew. I can't watch the ones that are where people are getting killed. I can't do it.
Oh, those are my favorite.
I'm not even a big scary movie fan, but I wonder, Randy, if you rewatch the original Halloween, if you'd wonder, like I did, why was I scared of this movie? I mean, just with some distance, especially the way they are now, because I thought the same thing. I went and I was like, this terrified me, and now it's just stupid.
Friday the 13th, same thing.
Yeah.
It's just silly.
That's an excellent example. And definitely all the Nightmare on Elm Streets. Like, this is more
that's
goofy
terrible.
than scary.
Nightmare on Elm Street is one of the worst friggin' setups ever. I don't know why anyone found that garbage scary.
I mean, I love the soundtracks. But when I was a kid, I remember I don't even want to fall asleep. Freddy's going to get me. And I rewatch it and go, why was I so scared of this?
But there are some that, even as a grown person, they can give you the willies. And it's usually the straight up, mental case running loose on the town, cutting people into shreds. That stuff, the supernatural stuff. Oh, an alien's going to drop from my ceiling, and what? Yeah, that you can blow that off easy. But the more realistic stuff, yeah. I mean, we always talk about what was the Liv Tyler
Strangers?
The Strangers.
Oh man, that one freaked me out.
Funny Games. I always. Oh, you saw The Strangers, Andrew?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I prefer that style necessarily than a slasher. But, I mean, that one. I'm trying to think if I've ever been that stressed in my entire life like I was that movie.
I always mention the movie Funny Games. Will creep you out, Josh. I want you so badly to watch that movie because I know it'll disturb you down to the friggin' core.
I don't like the really disturbing.
It is disturbing.
Ones. Isn't that the movie?
Go. I'm sorry, Ash.
Isn't that the movie that you had Janelle Klein watch?
She couldn't make it through it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
I love to push that movie on people because it'll disgust you.
For me, it's movies like The Exorcist, The Omen, those kind of movies. I mean, I'll watch those, but I'm like Josh. I'm at the edge of my seat. I'll watch them, but those are the ones that get to me.
I'm with Ashley. I love that kind of stuff. Andrew DePaola, do you have a real life scary story? Was there a tall tale, scary type story from your neighborhood, from your that kind of a thing?
Tall tale? No.
What's the word?
No, nothing crazy like that.
Like a local legend.
Local legend, yes.
We had a house in our neighborhood that everyone said a witch lived there.
Mm-hmm.
And we never saw the person. The lawn was always unkept, and so I believed it when I was little. The older kids in the neighborhood would perpetuate this.
Yeah.
And so I assumed a witch lived there, so I would kind of skip past that house as fast as I could if I was walking down the block.
There was a house on Lake Minnetonka where I grew up where the rumor was it was a house for Satan worshiping. And when we were young kids, we'd try to conjure up the balls to walk up, and the house was always dark. The truth was probably it was just a friggin' empty house, but this story started up that it was a place for worshiping Satan, so that was kind of a ritual for us young kids to have the balls to walk up and look at the window. You don't remember anything like that from your neighborhood, Andrew?
No, the only thing we had, like my town, growing up in Maryland, we had like the Underground Railroad that kind of went through. Okay. So like in some of the older homes and farms, a lot of them had like trapdoor closets where you could like remove the floor and then go down, and there was like like an underground room, something like that. And then a lot of people who lived there claimed that you could see ghosts walking around. You could hear people walking upstairs when no one was in the house.
Right.
Wow.
Just things like that.
I don't like to watch Paranormal Activity, and not really because of being scared of the movie, but just I was ashamed of myself because there was a character in there I just wanted to die so bad. I've never felt that way.
And he does.
Yeah, he does. He gets it at the end. Do you know what's his name? Micah?
Yes.
But by the end of it, I'm like, can they just kill this guy off?
I really liked the first Paranormal Activity movie. I think I dabbled in the others, but never really paid close attention. So I really liked that movie, and I remember you saw it before I did, and this was a big deal. When that movie came out, everybody was
huge.
I remember you very specifically telling me, you're going to hate one of the main characters. You're going to want him dead almost right away. And I agreed with you. And he does. He buys it violently at the end.
Yeah, he gets it.
So I walked out with a smile on my face. Listen to this, Andrew DePaola, Randy Shaver. According to a study from someone called Flash Picks, State Farm Stadium, where the Arizona Cardinals play their home games, that joint is the best NFL stadium for surviving a zombie apocalypse attack.
I got to hear why.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll tell you, Andrew DePaola. At least I have some information here. The way the people at Flash Picks put it, State Farm Stadium. You played there before, Andrew, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Nice joint?
Yeah, real nice.
They say it's the best equipped NFL venue to help people survive the horrors of an unlikely outbreak of zombies. They analyze several factors: location, population, stadium security features, and whether the stadium has a lid to calculate a survival rate, which is scored with a maximum score of 100. In the end, the Cardinals ballpark has a 74.7% survival rate, and that's the best of all NFL stadiums. I don't exactly know what they're going for here with the roof. The lid, like I said. It says here, as one of just 10 NFL stadiums to have a roof, and also one of just 5 that has a retractable roof. Those features added 15 points to State Farm's stadium score as far as safety for a zombie apocalypse. Now, is the idea there, everybody, that you can close the lid and the zombies can't get in?
Yeah, that's what
I'm guessing.
And you can crack it open once in a while if...
somebody's gassed.
Someone has a farting problem.
Yeah.
You crack the lid. Other key factors for the Arizona ballpark: its proximity to a river, so you have a water source. Low population in the area, so you won't have to deal with so many zombies. I'm imagining that's where they're going with that. Where if you're dead set in the middle of the city with a high population, there's going to be more zombies to deal with. The grass surface. Okay, let's see if Andrew or Randy can guess this. Why would the grass surface at Arizona's ballpark be a benefit to surviving a zombie apocalypse?
Please don't tell me because you can grow stuff.
That's right.
Grow stuff, yeah.
Nice one.
We're in there for the long haul, man. We got to grow some corn.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
man.
You can grow some bagels.
I don't know if I'd really grow anything in there. It's not really like real.
Well, okay, it's not real grass. It's that fake rubbery stuff.
No, it's real grass, but it only goes down, I think, like a foot and a half of soil.
Yeah, you might have to have
a
real
rutabagas on the 50-yard line if it's only an inch and a half of soil.
Okay, you'd have to some like the professor from Gilligan's Island, someone who can really think these things out. And okay, yeah, the grass surface. You're right, Andrew DePaola. They say it would make an ideal place to grow crops. Andrew doesn't think it's that ideal. It's only an inch and a half. Friggin' awful, terrible, aforementioned Lambeau Field, ranked second on the list, followed by Arrowhead Stadium, where the Chiefs play. The worst of them all was Seattle's ballpark. No one will survive, they say, if they're hanging out at Seattle's ballpark during the zombie apocalypse. I don't exactly know why. The big NFL stadium that we have here in town, the one that replaced the Metrodome 8 years ago, they call the place the new Metrodome. It did not factor into the top 10 joints to hide out in during the upcoming zombie apocalypse attack.
Too much glass.
Yeah, you can break that glass, get in.
Weather gets
But it's got a roof on it.
Yeah. I think it's
the zombies
right
come
in the heart of the city there. That's got to be a big part of it.
Oh, yep, that's true.
Do
Because
this-
that's usually where the first huge attack is, huh?
And the zombies will break through the glass.
Those dang zombies. They're getting more and more creative.
I'm kind of burned out on zombies. I used to love zombie movies. I think I've watched too many.
Dude,
too
same
many
here.
came out at once.
Next up for you, Andrew DePaola, in a couple, 3 days, you got to play a night game, Sunday Night Football against the Indianapolis Colts. You lost a couple in a row now. What's the vibe over there with you and the fellas?
Still high. I mean, yeah, lost 2 in a row. You can shoot any excuse out you want. We lost 2 games in 5 days. But reality is we're 5-2, which is still a good record. I think a lot of people wouldn't even have had us at 5-2 at this point coming into the season. So yeah, still high. We're a 5-2 football team. We're looking ahead. So the Colts coming to town. It'll be a good game. And our motto has always been just let's take it one game at a time, one play at a time. That's what we're going to do. So getting back to work, we're excited about it. It should be fun.
You ought to be. We're still happy for you boys. And, no matter what happens, at least we know you got to go. But at least you don't play in the defensive secondary for the Chicago Bears.
Jeez, no kidding.
Yeah, I guess so.
So brutal.
After what happened to them a couple days ago against the Washington Commodores. And
that's tough.
Yeah, that was a massive goat rodeo right there. We always appreciate your time, Andrew. Have fun tonight with the young people.
Oh, yeah.
Have a wonderful, safe Halloween, and then good luck Sunday night against the Colts.
Thanks, guys. Everybody stay safe tonight.
All right, you too.
You too, man.
So long, Andrew. Total pimp.
Love that guy.
Andrew DePaola going to be out trick-or-treating. That would be hilarious if he wore all of his friggin' gear.
Mm-hmm. And somebody thinks he's just a big fan, and he's like, "Oh, you a big Vikes fan?" I am too. But man, that secondary, that special teams play, they gotta solidify things here. Depot's just like, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Look, Dad, that man dressed up as Andrew DePaola.
I love that he'd have the name on his own back, and he's thinking nobody would still know who he was.
Well, hearkening back to an old story from my past, if you want to be mistaken for Mike Tice, just go out tonight wearing jean shorts and a Leroy Horde jersey.
Yep, there you go.
Jameis Winston is the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. God help us, I'm happy for Jameis Winston. I'm such a fan of this guy. The AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I like this headline. It says here, the Cleveland Browns have accidentally played the best quarterback on their roster. Congratulations to Jameis. Okay, the Los Angeles Dodgers, Randy Shaver, they put the New York Yankees in their miserable fans.
Well, the Yankees did it to themselves.
Yes, they did.
That inning where they were winning 5-0, and Garrett Cole decides not to cover first base. I mean, Tom Kelly, I can remember going to spring trainings, and that's really one of the only drills those pitchers ran. And they did it every single day. working on running the first base to cover the bag.
Mm-hmm.
And how Garrett Cole decided not to cover the bag, whether he thought that Rizzo was going to be able to get to the bag.
Well, that's exactly what he thought.
He could get there. Well, yeah, I understand that, but you still cover the bag.
Yes, you do.
And that just, I mean, even though that only made it 5-1, when you
knew it was coming. You knew something was coming.
You knew it was coming.
Yeah.
You knew that was going to cause issues for the Yankees, and
God, that was a riot.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And then the Dodgers still found a way later to take the lead, and then, Walker Buehler was just great in the ninth inning. So, yeah, I'm glad it's over. The Yankees weren't going to win this thing. They were not going to come back to win the series, so better to have it over and be done. So
I'm a lucky prick. I don't know what the hell I was watching on television last night, but I was looking it up on my cellular telephone. I saw it was 5-0 New York, and I thought, maybe I won't even watch the friggin' game tonight. This one's getting out of hand. I flipped it over to the ball game during that at-bat where Rizzo and
you did.
And what the hell's his name again? Cole, where they gong showed what should have been the third out of the inning with the bases loaded. That's when I flipped it over. It was right in the beginning of that at-bat. I forget who was at the plate for the Dodgers. It doesn't matter. That was so hilarious. And then I learned later that was the third error of the inning for the Yankees. I didn't see Judge gong show that easy line drive. I didn't see Volpe throw the ball to third base like he was a third grader. What a riot.
That's when I tuned in, is when the Volpe, they were showing the replays of Volpe trying to make the play at third base. So that's when I joined the broadcast. And then, so I did miss the Judge play too. But,
some folks are calling it one of the most memorable mid-game meltdowns in baseball history. That was a beautiful thing. I mean, the Yankees still came back and took the lead, but with a couple of sac flies, the Dodgers win the game, get the lead back. Like you said, once Nuts comes in the ninth.
Aaron Boone probably should have pulled Garrett Cole when it was 5-3. Probably should have pulled him. I think he didn't want to make the same mistake he made in, game 2, when he pulled him out too soon, took him out. But, Cole was clearly out of gas. Just the strain of that inning. I think he threw over 40 pitches in the inning.
Yeah, he was gassed.
Yeah, he should have pulled him. But both teams were at the end of their rope as far as the bullpen goes. Luke Weaver, he must have pitched in every game.
He did, I think.
For the Yankees.
Yeah.
They were just completely.
It was a bullpen series. It was all bullpen.
It really was.
The fun thing, again, the Yankees did it to themselves, and that makes it beautiful. But also, this year's supposed epic matchup wasn't so epic after all. And the entertaining part of the story is the Yankees more or less handed the win over to the Dodgers last night by playing like a damn Little League club. Now, Fred Freeman was named World Series MVP, and that was obvious.
Totally earned it, yeah.
He had a 2-run single in the game last night, so that tied the World Series record as far as RBIs in a series. He had 12 of them.
Yep.
That record was set in 1960 by Bobby Richardson. The Dodgers won their 8th world title, their first in a non-shortened season since 1988. When they won it in 2020, that was the COVID year when they only played 60 games, if that matters.
Think about that, though, for a second. They hadn't won a World Series. Yeah, take out the COVID year.
Mm-hmm.
Hadn't won a World Series since 1988. Is that what you said?
Yes.
When you think about the money that the Dodgers have spent on players in the last 10, 15 years, it's still no guarantee when you spend that kind of money that you're going to. That's the beauty of baseball, that you're going to win the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
They've won it, again, taking out COVID, 1988. That's a long time.
It's like the bosses always tell us around here. They say, money doesn't mean that much. They always say that. Money ain't everything, the bosses always tell us here. That's a good point. Now, also remember, they started the season with that gambling scandal involving Ohtani and his interpreter.
Right.
And there was, a narrative there for a while. Oh, my God, they went and got Ohtani, and now this absolute disaster is going to derail their season. In the end, they win the whole schmear. And this one for you, Rain, this is going to freak you out now. The Dodgers will celebrate with a parade tomorrow on what would have been Fernando Valenzuela's 64th birthday.
Oh, boy. That's just perfect.
If there's anything left, have you seen the stories coming out? There's been riots. And
No.
they've
I
been
haven't
burning
seen
things
anything.
down.
Oh,
stores.
Really?
Yeah.
Obviously, no one's surprised by that, but I have not looked anything up. So they're burning Los Angeles to the ground as we
Yeah.
speak?
There's buses burned, cars overturned.
Oh my gosh!
Just
whoa.
what a...
Yay, we won.
Why
Let's
can't
destroy our city! Woohoo!
Why can't we control ourselves anymore in any way, shape, or form?
Who's lighting buses on fire?
We
What
are
in
just
the world?
absolutely surrounded by derelicts.
It's pretty weird.
No, well, tell us more, Josh. If you find anything more about, are there dead people in the street? How bad is it?
I haven't seen anything on that.
All right.
I hope that obviously doesn't happen.
Now, the MVP, Fred Freeman, hit 4 dongs in this year's World Series. Had he hit one more, he would have tied Randy Shaver, for most home runs in a single series. He would have He would have tied 3 other players for most home runs in a single series.
Well, I'll say Reggie Jackson is
That's
one.
one of them. The other 2
Mr.
are...
October.
One of the remaining 2 we mentioned yesterday or the day before when we were talking about Freeman's home run streak. I'll give you a hint. Houston Astros, Toronto Blue Jays.
Joe Carter. No.
We just talked about him a couple days ago. Houston
I'm
Astros,
sorry.
Toronto. George Springer.
George Springer. Okay.
The other Philadelphia Phillies?
Wait. Mike Schmidt?
No. More modern day, recent memory
More?
of Philadelphia?
Oh, Harper.
No.
No.
Oh, he's a... Chase Utley.
Oh, Chase Utley. Sure.
Had
I guess I don't think of Chase Utley as a power hitter. I guess he was.
No, nobody does. But the one World Series they played in, I think against Tampa Bay, he hit a ton of bombs.
Yeah.
So had Fred hit one more, he would have joined those boys. But I'm sure he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's the MVP.
No, he doesn't.
His team won the... Now, when he hit that dong in the first inning of Game 4... Now, any World Series home run, I guess, from what I read, because this isn't anything that I take an interest in, any World Series home run is the type of thing where you could hang on to it and make some money off of it. So a Yankee fan caught that baseball, obviously, in Game 4 when Fred hit it in the first inning. The Yankee fan threw the ball back onto the field like you do. And the story that I'm reading says here that he threw back a potential $100,000 baseball when he threw that ball back onto the ball field. Maybe it's because it's simply a World Series home run. Maybe it was because it was part of Freeman's, streak of consecutive World Series games with a home run. I can't exactly tell you why it was worth $100,000, but that's what I'm told. But this fan says he has no regrets over throwing back that baseball.
And so let me just throw this out there. So Freeman hits the home run.
Mm-hmm.
The fan catches the ball.
Mm-hmm.
The fan keeps it. It's worth, as you said, $100,000.
Right.
He throws it back on the field, and they probably just throw the baseball back in the pile with the other baseballs.
Probably.
So it's worth
maybe
nothing.
give it to Freeman, but probably throw it back into the pile.
Yeah. Think about that. They probably just tossed it away, and now it's worth nothing. So,
but he regrets nothing.
He regrets nothing. I think you'll find this guy interesting. I really do. His name is Marcus Klein. He caught the baseball. He says he contemplated 2 scenarios. He could keep Freeman's home run ball and potentially make some money off of it for, 5-figure type of a thing, 5 or 6-figure type of a thing. Or he could, he says, do what you do when you sit in the outfield at Yankee Stadium and throw it back onto the field. He said people were yelling. Everyone was anxious. All of a sudden, here's what he says. All of a sudden, I'm all like, if I threw this ball back, we could get the crowd back into this game. And then there was a chant, he says, of throw it back, throw it back. He says, I knew the significance of the ball, but getting the Yankees back into this game was more significant.
No, that couldn't be me.
This guy thinks he played a role in the victory.
I think that's a guy trying to talk himself into his decision.
Yes.
100%.
Exactly. I think
gave
that's
into mob mentality.
Self-preservation.
Yeah. We're going to
imagine if he decided not to throw it back.
He says he galvanized the fans and the Yankees to win that game and avoid elimination. He did that.
No, you didn't.
Oh, wow.
The bats came alive after what I did, he said. The stadium was electric. The air was reinflated. It was fire. It was nuts.
Oh, my gosh. This guy thinks a lot of himself.
Yes, he does. There were people who came up to me later and mentioned the significance of what I did. What the hell? What world do you live in, dude?
Dude, you could have you could have $100,000 right now. Get out of here.
He's giving himself credit for the win. And like Josh said, he's trying to talk himself off a ledge. He knows he blew it. He friggin' blew it. You know who is not happy with old Marcus Klein, the self-absorbed Yankee fan? Do you know who is not happy, Josh?
Oh, I'd imagine his wife.
His wife.
His freaking wife.
Her name is Jackie, they say. I've known a couple of Jackies. They're wild. You don't want to mess with a Jackie. His wife told him to his face, you just won the lottery and threw it away. That was the first thing he heard when he got home from the ball game.
Oh, yeah. I would not be letting that one go. That might even, honestly, that would piss me off so much, I'd just not like him anymore.
He's got a couple of young kids, and his wife told him, you just threw away college tuition.
Yeah.
And she slammed the door in his face, but he says, no regrets. I got the ball club going. I got them going. The crowd, the ball club, everybody was me.
For what, though? They ended up losing in 5 games.
He's still sleeping on the couch.
Mm-hmm. Extra congratulations to Michael. Michael isn't a name, Josh. I know you tried to convince me. You fooled me into thinking this guy's name was Michael. It's not.
I almost had you.
Congratulations to Michael Kopech, part of the L.A. Dodgers roster. Now, some of you might be saying, well, why?
Former White Sox.
Yeah, why are we especially swinging from his jock? He can now say he's accomplished something wonderful, something he can hold over all of his teammates' heads. He will now be credited with being a member of the worst big league team of all time, the same year he won the World Series.
That's crazy.
Because up until July, he was part of the Chicago White Sox roster that lost 121 games. He was dealt to the Dodgers, and now, I imagine right now, he's still awake from last night.
Oh, yeah.
Buried in college girls.
For sure.
He can say in the same season, I played for the worst stinking team anyone has ever seen. But by fall, I was in a World Series friggin' parade.
Yeah.
They say here he escaped baseball hell and reached immortality in only a few months' time.
And actually had a hand in the Dodgers getting to the World Series and the playoffs because
he performed very well.
He did. He was a very key part of their bullpen. So, yeah.
All right. What's also beautiful about the series being open also isn't the proper way to go with this. The other bonus to the World Series being over is those two jagoffs who interfered with Mookie Betts. Their 15 minutes of fame is over.
Exactly.
Had the series continued, they'd have been brought up over and over again, and probably someone would have interviewed them. Rick McAfee, what the hell's his name? Likely would have had him on next to Karen on the show. But their time is over. Now, of course, I mean, it doesn't matter anymore, but they were banned from attending last night's game. The Yankees in Major League Baseball banned those two jagoffs.
But are they banned for life? That's the thing.
No, they are not. The tickets to last night's game were given instead to a pediatric cancer patient and his family. Very nice move by the Yankees.
That was nice.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I saw many articles saying the Yankees need to make an example out of these two schmucks. They need to go further with the banning than just last night's stupid baseball game.
Yep. It's one thing to, hold on to a player if they thought he was going to fall or something.
Oh, of course.
It's another thing to try to grab his glove. It's another thing to try to rip the glove off the guy's hand. Yeah.
And then try to hold Mookie Betts, too.
Exactly.
Now, did you guys know that these two schmucks, that they were refunded their money for last night's game?
Yeah.
And a lot of folks have a problem with that. They said,
Yeah.
they don't need their money back, for Christ's sake. Get them out of here.
That was their choice.
That's ridiculous. And of course, Gronk knows them. Yeah, I can't say his last name.
And here's a little fun fact. That guy right there grabbing Mookie Betts' glove
Don't tell me you know
was
him.
my friend in college.
Gronk, stop it right now. Are
He's
you
a beauty.
Okay,
he is a beauty.
Okay,
And
hold
I just
on.
want to say congratulations.
Congratulations!
For shining when your moment came.
These nuts! Did you catch that, Randy Shaver?
I did, yeah.
You sound very enthused.
That surprises no one that Rob Gronkowski was college bros with that dude, one of the dudes who was acting like an imbecile while interfering with Mookie Betts. And Gronk, genius that he is, he didn't really know what to do, did he, Josh?
No.
At first, he's like congratulating the guy, and then he makes some kind of a statement on how that's wrong, but then he still goes back and says it was awesome because this is his bro that he used to beer bong with at the University of Arizona. He didn't really know what to do with that.
Yeah, you could kind of see just like the gears turning, and he didn't know how to handle that situation.
It's not surprising at all.
All right. That's it for baseball for the year 2024 on this friggin' program. That's it for baseball. We'll talk about it again come spring training, Randy Shaver.
Yes, we will. Or maybe the winter meetings when the Twins make all those great trades.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Hot stove.
I like the hot stove talk.
Oh, the hot stove talk. All right, back to Halloween real quick. The Timberwolves posted a photo of their Halloween party, and it looks like a riot. God, I wish I would have somehow, some way been invited to the Timberwolves Halloween party. The photos of the costumes are so much fun. Now, I'm only able to identify a few of them. Anthony Edwards is some type of muscle-bound superhero. I don't know who he is.
Is Mr. Incredible? Is that who that is?
Okay, he looks like he's having a great time. He's flexing his fake muscle suit. Rudy Gobert's costume is very scary looking. Randy, you should look this up on Twitter.
It's on 93x.com, too.
Or 93x.com. Rudy Gobert's costume is very scary, although I cannot tell who he is portraying.
I didn't know either. Anybody?
He looks like a...
He looks like a werewolf.
Yeah, that's what I was... It's honestly,
Maybe
it's pretty
it is.
sexy.
Is it sexy?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a werewolf. I think that's a good call.
So it's just a werewolf, like a generic werewolf?
But doesn't he not? He looks very frightening.
He does.
I think it's well done. Whatever it is, it's well. Whatever he was trying to be, if he came to my door on Halloween, I would probably wet myself. Okay, there's a couple of cliche. Well, I'm not trying to take anything away from anybody, but there's a couple of cliches. One in here. Dante DiVincenzo is Fred Krueger. Someone is Chucky the Killer Doll.
That's Nas Reed, by the way.
Is Nas Reed is Chucky?
That's great. That makes it awesome.
The two best by far, though, if you ask me, the two best by far. Mike Conley is a karate kickboxer, and I've never seen a grown man look so adorable in my life.
I agree.
He's
Ryu.
dressed as Street Fighter.
Yeah,
He's who?
Ryu from Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Never saw it. But
It's a
he
video game
is
series.
so cute, it almost brought tears to my eyes.
You must have played Street Fighter as a young person.
Never saw it.
Oh, really?
Especially next to Rudy.
I was a Double Dragon guy.
Oh, I love
That's
Double Dragon.
fun,
What about
too.
Karate Champ? Ever get
Yeah,
into that one?
that was my absolute favorite. Thank you for bringing up Karate Champ. There was no one in the county better than I was at Karate Champ in the year 1985. And friggin' Luca Garza wins the night. I believe he is Danny Zuko, John Travolta's character from Grease, and he's absolutely perfect.
Is that a mask he's wearing, or is it like he kind of looks photoshopped? I was curious about that.
He's just that good looking.
Is he really?
That jaw that jaw's amazing.
He's got a cigarette in the yap and everything. He looks like he's about ready to sing about Sandy. He is so perfect. If anyone knows Garza, tell him he won the costume contest with the Timberwolves as Danny Zuko. I'm happy we have that up on our website because that's fun. A couple more notes before we go, Randy Shaver. Coral. He had his first big game for the Knickerbockers. Last night, Coral scored 44 points, and the Knicks beat the Miami Heat 17 for 25 shooting, 17 for 25. 4 for 5 from what they call the three-point line ski.
Fabulous.
Well, I'm happy for Coral. You know, I've always kind of wanted to slap that Thibodeau right across his face. But I hope Carl has a good run with the Knicks. I do.
Yep.
And Bronny James
scored a point.
He scored his first and possibly only career NBA bucket last night.
Send him to the G League now.
Yep.
His first and maybe only NBA bucket last night. He did it in his home state, or at least his dad's home state. I don't know if Bronny was born in Ohio or not, but
I don't think so.
Okay, the Lakers were getting crushed by Cleveland. The Cleveland crowd was chanting for Bronny yeah, to get some playing time. And with only, of course, there's just a couple minutes left. Why not put the JV guys out there? The Lakers are getting killed. And he came in and he actually hit a jump shot.
Well, this will be interesting to keep track of now because he's only 40,578 points behind his father. So
keep us up to date.
Yeah, I'll keep a tally mark on my wall in my bedroom.
And Bronny was born in Cleveland, too.
Oh, he was?
Yes.
Okay.
He's only 4,000 some odd points behind the old man.
40,500.
40,000.
Yep.
Somewhere
40,000 points behind him.
Mm-hmm. Somewhere Brent Gretzky is nodding and understands.
Boy, he gets it.
Was that his brother's name, Brent, I want to say?
Yeah.
Wayne's brother, I swear to God it was Brent.
Yeah, Brent Gretzky.
Everyone went mental last night at the Cleveland Cavaliers game for Bronny. Oh, man. There you go. All right, Randy Shaver. Have a happy Halloween with the family, hanging out with grandkids and all that.
That'll be fun.
What do you know what candy they're serving at your son's home?
I think he told me they're going to be the house that gives away the big candy bars.
You have to be.
The full-size candy bar.
Yeah, I think so.
Now, tell us the candy bar to where there's a good chance that Grandpa cleans all of them out before the kids even come to the door.
Probably if it's a Butterfinger.
Oh,
those are good.
Good choice.
I was hooked on
probably
those.
If it's a butter.
I was absolutely, I was a junkie for Butterfingers as a kid. Nowadays, I think I burned myself out. Nowadays, I lean more towards, I'll tell you what route I take, Cubby.
What's that?
And I'll tell you right now, a payday bar.
I didn't see that coming.
Well, if I could bring back an old school one, what about a whatchamacallit?
Yes.
Yes.
Nick, I love you, but that is such an old guy favorite candy bar.
When I go to the Holiday Station, Ashley, who do you used to endorse? Was it Holiday? Was it Super American?
Yep, I still do Holiday.
It doesn't matter. I get the payday bar.
Did you ever get into the Pearson nut roll? That was my dad's jam.
Oh, those are the best, Josh.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
I would always get him the giant one for Christmas, and then the
oh, my God.
Pepperidge
I
Farm.
love those.
You know who once got me that big, fat, turd-looking giant Pearson's nut bar for Christmas once?
Who dat?
You know who did that for me?
Who dat?
Randy Shaver's old co-worker, Tim McNiff.
Oh, yeah?
I know we just talked about Tim on this because I think he had a family member that worked at the Pearson's, factory.
Cool.
So the Star Tribune.
Those are so good.
Yeah.
They just published a new article on the weather for tonight. 2 to 4 inches of what they're calling Halloween snow in the Twin Cities tonight.
It's not going to happen.
No.
You heard it here first. It's not going to happen.
No. I can hear the rain right now. I hope it's not snow.
Well, can't we just pull Des Moines and say let's all do it tomorrow?
Well, yeah, a Friday or Saturday night wouldn't be too bad.
Timberwolves play Denver tomorrow. I'm busy tomorrow. All right, Randy Shaver, have fun tonight.
All right, talk to you next week.
Take care. We'll be back here in a few minutes on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show. They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance. 93X.
Our technicians are geared up and ready to make sure your system is running reliably this winter. Regular maintenance from Standard Heating and Air Conditioning helps prevent costlier breakdowns in the future, and we know they always happen at the worst time.
Hey, I Ashley here. Get your home ready for winter. Schedule your furnace tune-up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning and save $30. Have a boiler? Save $40 on your boiler tune-up. Visit standardheating.com to book and lock in your savings. Stay cozy, stay ready.
Every week, Michael Rosenbaum is getting deep with someone new on the Inside of You podcast. Actor James Marsters.
Are you somewhat content? Do you still stress a lot?
If anything, I feel guilty that I have it so good. If you make the decision to be an actor, the deal is poverty. I don't understand. How did I get here? You know? And the answer, how did I get here, is really one audition one day for Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum, wherever you listen.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
They got their heads up their ass.
On 93X.
There you go. I'll tell you right now, we're back on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. It is 8:28. Cubby, you might as well let folks know what today is.
Halloween?
Other than Halloween.
Ashley's birthday?
Other than Ashley's birthday.
The day you get a vasectomy?
Not getting a vasectomy, not today.
Ghost giveaway day?
Ghost giveaway day, that's coming up. Today for us.
Oh, it's our Friday.
Today is our Friday. Woo. We will not be here tomorrow to broadcast a live show. We'll run some kind of weak-ass series of highlights. Why do we take today off? Who cares? Oh, because it's the day after Ashley's birthday.
Yeah.
Ashley's going to be in no condition to broadcast tomorrow.
Why don't we take tomorrow off, I think is what I meant to say. Yeah, today's our Friday. You suckers that got to get up tomorrow morning, kiss our ass. Josh just told me something.
My gosh.
I missed this because we sit in separate rooms. Josh and I are in the much more important broadcasting room, and then the other three members of the show sit in some other room. But there's a window. I can always see Wapple, which isn't a bonus. But
you love this face.
I can't see the other folks on the show, and Josh tells me you're wearing Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
Oh, so Ashley, go ahead. I didn't know you were wearing Who are you?
I'm Elmo. Here,
okay,
I'll
come
show
on over to the window so I can see your Elmo Halloween costume.
Here she comes.
Oh, it's a cute little, how do you call it?
You got to put the thing on.
Sure.
She put her hood up, and there's Elmo's face.
Oh, it's cute.
We all went out on last Saturday night, and Ashley was Elmo, and her boyfriend was Cookie Monster.
Heard that story a couple days ago. It was really annoying. It doesn't feel any better today to hear about it. No, you look cute in your Elmo jumpsuit.
Thank
Dana,
you.
step up. Who are you?
Garth Algar.
Garth Algar from the hit show
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World.
I didn't ever know the last name.
Algar.
Yeah,
Garth
Wayne Campbell and Garth Algar.
Well, I knew Wayne Campbell, sure.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I didn't realize you guys were dressed up. I can't see you over here.
I just kind of found this last second. I guess my fiance was Garth a couple of years ago, in one of those Wayne and Garth things that you see a lot of years. And
Sexy Garth?
I don't know if she was sexy Garth. That's a good question. I should ask you some pictures.
I really want my wife to slut it up one of these Halloweens.
Yeah, you keep saying that. I don't know. You're not going to hold your breath on that one, are you?
No, it hasn't happened yet.
I'm past the age where, but back in the day in college, November 1st was almost more fun than Halloween, because that's the day that every girl will go and post their slutted up Halloween costumes all over social media.
Yep.
It was like a tradition.
Yeah, the slutty Halloween. If you want to be scared to death, all you got to do right now is text ritual. Well, that's kind of a difficult one. Who made that call?
Yeah, it's very tough.
Who the hell?
That's the problem. Sometimes they're creative,
Too creative.
but it's confusing.
If you want to have the most frightening night of your life, text ritual, RITUAL. Yeah, we'll make a phone call on that. The word shouldn't be that difficult. The number is 651-989-9393. Your chance to win tickets to 93X presents Ghost and their 20 plus 25 world tour. That's happening this summer, Saturday, August 2nd at XL Energy Center. Tickets are on sale this Friday, so tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yep, 10 a.m.
What's this pre-sale thing? How do I let this fall out of my mouth? Get your tickets before anyone else during the 93X pre-sale. Go over to 93X.com and enter code 93X Radio beginning at noon today.
It was yesterday. That's a typo there.
So you could still get pre-sale tickets.
Yes, right now. You can go right now if you want.
Yeah, noon. Yeah. Today's the 31st. Yesterday was the 30th. It's almost like I'm in Des Moines right now. I don't know what. So what happened now? What did I do?
So if you go to it doesn't start at noon today. It's already going.
Already
so if you
going.
want to get your ghost tickets, you can do that now. And I know it gets confusing because we're throwing out another code word. This is the one to enter on the website, 93X Radio, and that's how you can buy your tickets early.
The code word right now we're dealing with at 651-989-9393 is ritual. Text it in, you bastards, if you want to go see Ghost. If you want to go see Ghost.
Yeah, it should be easier for voice to text, don't you think?
Yeah.
Like it should be an easier word than that.
You know, sometimes you come away from it, Josh, and you say to yourself, I should have pre-read that.
Oh, yeah. Tiny Hammer Jesus wrote, Richard Ull. Did I win?
You're the winner.
Richard Ull.
Has anyone here found themselves involved in the Halloween Bat Beauty Contest?
I took a look.
Sounds cool.
If you want to get dialed in, text 651. No, I'm kidding. If you want to get dialed in, someone called the Bureau of Land Management. Oh, man. Sounds like a pretty important gig. They've been hosting this here online competition since 2019 to raise awareness about the ecological importance of bats. It's a bat beauty contest. So what they do, they post photos of bats on their Facebook and Instagram accounts and then ask people to vote for the cutest one. And I got to admit, some of them have a cute look to them.
They do. I like bats.
You do?
Me too, yeah.
Even though I was attacked by one. I do like them.
Oh,
where I
forgot
grew
about
up, we had a
that.
lot of bats where I grew up.
Tell us about the attack.
It's the first time I was ever on a plane, and as you know, I was 20 years old, 10 days away from turning 21, and I went to Hawaii. A friend's dad flew us all out there. I spent $200 for a month in Hawaii. That's all I spent. And it was at those ABC stores, and there's 3 per block in Honolulu. That's where we were. And so we did a little that rock climbing, and it was actually a couple bats flew out, and one of them hit me right in the face. And my friends were making fun of me, saying that didn't happen. But we had it on video, and I did get attacked by 2 bats. Right in the face.
You're entering a cave, and I'm not trying to be cute with that, and a bat flew out and hit you in the face.
I was climbing above like a crevice, basically, and it saw me, and they're like, hey, F you, get out of here, and it smashed right into my
How do you know where the non-drinkers are at in Hawaii?
Exactly.
They're rock climbing.
Rock climbing, yeah.
It hit you in the face. No ill effects from that attack?
None whatsoever. I mean, I have this terrible thirst for blood every time around Halloween. But outside of that, I haven't noticed a darn thing.
You didn't have to go get looked at for rabies or anything like that?
You know, I was so stupid, I never even thought about it. But I wasn't bit, so I figured.
Yeah, but maybe if it just got a little bit of that bat spit in your mouth or something.
I never even considered that.
I used to hate bats. I'd try to kill them back in the day when they'd start swooping down on us when we'd sit around the campfire. But now that I'm bald, I don't give 2 pumps where a bat goes. I got their back now. I do. Go ahead, bats. I got no fear of you now. I don't have a hairdo.
Anybody here have a fear of bats?
No, I think they're quite adorable.
Yeah,
It can be.
At night we'd ball up our socks and throw them up in the air so we could try to get as many bats in the area that we could.
They like socks?
Yeah,
I'm not following that gimmick.
It's that sonar. They have sonar or whatever, so they see something go up in the air and they sonar it, and then they come to it because they think it's something big.
So they'd crash into your socks and that would kill them?
No, they would just come around, fly around us, stuff like that.
So you wanted them to fly around you, so you'd throw your socks up in the air and that would attract more bats.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I think
Am I the only one that's never seen a bat in person? I feel like I talk to people and they see bats in their backyard all the time.
I bet you've seen them and you just didn't notice.
You thought it was a bird.
Yeah, you probably thought it was a bird.
Okay.
Now, Josh, you'll like where they go next with this story of the Bat Beauty Pageant. The bats in the pageant, a couple of them have punny names. So hang on to something. One of them's name is Sir Flaps-a-Lot.
I'm going to like these.
That's a Utah bat.
How do you know this?
Oh, I read the story.
Oh.
Yeah. It's up on 93x.com.
I doubly hate myself. One of the other bats is named Hoary Potter. Now, don't get crazy. That's not a smart-ass comment about that bat's sexual history. That's the brand of bat. It's a hoary bat. That's the style, the brand, the breed, whatever the word is I'm missing. But bat fans around the world, bat fans, they love the little bastards, and they always want to remind you that they play a key role in the environment, which I stated years ago, I believe is fake and doesn't actually exist. I don't believe in the environment, but you don't need to hear that now. We'll just get back to these bat people. They want to tell you what an important role the bats play in the environment because they eat insects like mosquitoes. I remember that the first time that was said to me, again, back when I was a kid, and I feared bats because I thought they would nest in my gorgeous hairdo and poop and maybe reproduce in there or something, right? So I didn't like the bats at first, and someone said, well, they do kill mosquitoes, so you should be a fan of the,
Makes a difference.
Yeah.
What else do they do? The bat experts go on and on about pollinating flowers and fruits or something. Last year, a bat called William Shakespeare won the because they have big ears. William Shakespeare was the winner of the cutest bat around. Yes.
Have you ever had a bat in the house?
That's the only bat story that I could tell, Josh. Yes, when I was just a little baby. Just a little sumbitch. The story I was told was that a bat got into the house. And, of course, my twin brother was also a little baby, and my sister was older. I can't remember how old she is. But a bat got into our house, and my dad went chasing the sumbitch around with a broom. And at one point, the bat was clinging to the ceiling. And my dad tried to kind of spear it with the broom, right? Like an upward surge, and he would spear it with the broom, handle first. As soon as he did the thrusting, the bat moved, and the old man only accomplished putting a big fat hole in the ceiling. Okay? He sealed that hole, being the handyman that he was. He sealed that hole with a pair of my mother's pantyhose. And the climax to the story is fast forward, 35 years later, I buy that home from my parents, and still, there's the pantyhose hanging out of the hole in the wall on the day I closed on that house. And I said to my dad, do I get to keep the pantyhose in the hole? That's all mine now? Ooh, what a gift that is. So it remained there. He never did anything about it. The pantyhose hung from the ceiling for 35 years.
We used to get bats probably once every couple of years because we had did you guys have a fireplace?
No.
Oh, they would just pop down the fireplace and say, what's up?
Oh, that's kind of cool. It's like a movie.
Yeah, we'd have bats and birds all the time. My dad would have to run around the house with a fishing net trying to catch them.
Cute.
Ever get a raccoon down that thing?
No.
No, we didn't either.
Dude, I would love to see your cute dad running around with a fishing net.
My buddy's house had a fireplace, and it was just a raccoon orgy in that damn thing. And it was so much fun for us as kids. Of course, his folks didn't enjoy having constant raccoon traffic and raccoon sex happening in their chimney and even down, into the house, the base of the fireplace. But we kids loved it. We'd go to our pal's house, and we could hear the raccoons running up and down that chimney all night long. We'd turn all the lights off and then get a flashlight, and we could see their eyes glowing. Ew. And they'd be sitting right in the house. All they had to do was hop over that little... that silly fireplace gate, and they would be the new house pet. We'd see their eyes glowing in the darkness, and it was a lot of laughs for us young people.
We had a squirrel stuck in there one time. It was high enough we couldn't really do anything about it. But did you know after a while the squirrel starts to drip when it's decomposing?
No, I did not.
Pretty gross.
Oh, gosh.
Pretty
very
gross.
Interesting.
Ew.
It's very interesting.
Squirrel juice. Squirrel juice.
Here's a listener who says, those swooping bats are not looking to attack you. They are just eating the mosquitoes like you mentioned. Okay. All right. It seems like they're after our haircuts, but they're just eating up bugs. This is a bat enthusiast texting into the show. Another listener has texted in to say, just in general, you better watch out or the insects will get you.
Oh, boy, that is true. in the water.
In the water, you're in
trouble.
You're in trouble.
Yeah. You're in trouble. That's right.
So
Trouble.
check out the Bat beauty pageant if you can. It's Halloween. We hope everyone has a wonderful Halloween. Although we keep hearing, like Josh said a minute ago, the weather's not supposed to be that great. But you won't be going out tonight, Josh.
No, my kid doesn't want me out there with them.
For the first time in how many years?
Where?
20?
Yeah, so I think 2005 maybe is when I picked it back up again.
And you got a little case of the blues, don't you?
Yeah, I didn't realize it until it was like 2 days ago. I thought, nobody told me last year that this was going to be it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Hey, champ, when are we heading out on Thursday?
Dude, that's exactly how it went.
Oh,
I'm like,
no,
all
dude.
right, we got a plan. All his buddies are coming over at 4:30. We're going to do the jack-o'-lantern pizzas like we do every year.
So he just let you know recently. Look,
just a couple days ago, yeah.
Oh,
That makes me sad for you.
What a dick.
that hit you right in the feels.
A little bit.
Do you even get a jack-o'-lantern pizza tonight? Or no?
Yeah, I'm still going to do that.
Okay.
If there was video of that, Josh, if you hearing that and you slowed it down, I bet you could see the pinpoint moment that your heart just shattered.
And you could hear my stomach go, brrr. It's like a bass drop in a movie trailer.
By the way, I like that Dana, in imitating you, used the term champ. Hey, champ. I always thought that was just the dumbest little pet name for a slugger. I always hated, my old man never called, he called us Bud. Or
That's
buddy.
what I always say, buddy.
That's what my whole family
I
calls
always thought, it always made my skin crawl when I was a kid, and one of my buddies' dads would say to their son, hey, champ. Oh, I always thought, don't you hate your dad for that? Slugger would have been even worse. That's actually something when we were, when we got into junior high and high school, when we wanted to tease a kid, we would say, hey, champ. That was like that was good stuff. Hey, champ.
I mentioned this earlier, but if you want to loan me your child for the evening, I'm kind of bummed I'm not going trick-or-treating, so I'd be happy to take your kid out.
Your children. Lend me your children.
Yeah, nothing strange about that at all.
I'm sorry, Cubby, that this has come to a close for you because you are such a big Halloween fan and a trick-or-treating fan. You mentioned earlier that maybe when you become a grandfather...
that's my next move.
But I think you can find something next year, I'm sure, to do, where you can be part of a trick-or-treat group. Even if your son, more importantly, my godson, is no longer dialed into it, you can find something.
Yeah, hopefully.
You can find something to replace that pain.
And I just want to reiterate, what a dick. Mm-hmm. Why would he take this from me?
I don't know. Unselfish, just like the stepkids. We got to take a break. Not unselfish isn't the word. It's ungrateful. You've always said
He's
about
definitely
you.
ungrateful.
Ungrateful. Some of yous don't want to hear cutesy trick-or-treat stories and such on Halloween. Some of yous are all about the scary stuff. Real horror. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Like real haunted houses. Reading about them or visiting them. Real stories of terrible murders and whatnot. There's a darkness to Halloween, and some folks are far more drawn to that type of a thing. And I get that. A listener requested that I tell the Red Cross story.
Oh, yes, it is time.
To close out our Halloween broadcast. It's been a while since I've told the story. I hope I can dump it out proper. The Red Cross story is one that I've told a few times. It didn't happen to me, but it happened to one of my best friends. And it is a true story. I don't normally believe stories like this until I saw my friend's face after this happened to him. It did change what I believe in and what I don't believe in when it comes to supernatural, this and that. It all started actually where I was having a phone conversation with his brother. Let's say my best pal who had this terrible thing happen, Donnie. I'm talking on the phone to Donnie's brother. Donnie at the time lived out in Las Vegas. And I'm talking to Donnie's brother, and his brother says, when's the last time you talked to Donnie? I said, I haven't talked to him in a few weeks. And he said, give him a call, and when he answers, just say Red Cross. I said, well, what's that all about? He says, I'm not going to tell you. Just trust me. Call Donnie, and when he says yellow, just say Red Cross and then stay completely silent. I said, okay, cool. Obviously it was some kind of a prank, and I'm all in. So I called Donnie. He answers the phone, and I just said, Red Cross. And there's total silence on the other end of the line. And then I hear Donnie's voice say, who the hell is this? And I said, it's me, dude. And Donnie says, Jesus Christ, don't do that to me. How do you know about the Red Cross? What are you doing? And I said, well, I just got off the phone with your brother. I said, I've never heard you like this before. What's happening over there? And that's when Donnie told me the story, what happened to him one day out there in Las Vegas. At the time, his future wife was going to school, and Donnie was just kind of living in Vegas and doing very little. He would earn some money. Actually, kind of interesting, on a side note, he would earn some extra money by being an extra in movies that were being filmed in Las Vegas. He ended up being an extra in Casino.
Oh, cool.
That's a good movie.
With Robert De Niro. So he wasn't doing jack squat most days except sitting around their apartment. And one day he decides, and this was rare for Donnie then and now, he decides he's going to up and take a shower. So he goes into the bathroom and he dives into the douche. And I know Donnie fairly well, and this is the way he told the story. He says, there's no way I was in the shower for longer than 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And when he stepped out of the shower, he looks on the bathroom floor, and all over the bathroom floor, he sees tiny little red crosses drawn on the floor of the bathroom. And he thinks instantly, okay, I've lost my mind. Another side note. He had cleaned the entire apartment. Part of being a bum that isn't going to school or having a job at all in Vegas left him plenty of time during the day to just clean so he had cleaned the apartment that day. He decides to take the shower. When he jumps out of the shower, red crosses all over the bathroom floor, and he says to himself, number one, what in God's name is happening? I know these weren't here earlier because I cleaned the damn bathroom. He wraps a towel around his waist and he opens up the bathroom door to the hallway of their apartment, and he sees the entire hallway floor is covered in those same red crosses. And at that point, he said, when he told me the story originally over the telephone, he said he just got into fight or flight mode. Is that how they say it?
Yeah.
And he's just simply, despite the fact that he's a fully grown man, he's going to scream and run for his life. And that's what he did. He pulled on his jeans, no underwears, no socks, no T-shirt, no nothing. He pulled on his jeans and he just ran for the door. And he braced himself for an impact. He braced himself for a gunshot or a knife or an axe or something, because he was getting, obviously someone has gotten into the apartment since I took this. So he runs out the door, down the hall, and outside the apartment. And he's just standing there, topless, on the streets of Las Vegas. Good news is it's Las Vegas, who would notice? And he's wondering what just happened? What is going on? He called his dad on a payphone and tells his dad the story.
Oh, man.
And his dad says, you're out of your friggin' mind. None of this happened. And he's, yes, it did. I'm telling you, Dad. He then calls his wife, somehow gets a hold of her at the school, UNLV or wherever the hell she was going to school, and says, you got to come home. I'm not making this up. She also thinks he's out of his friggin' mind. And he waited for her to get there before he walked back up to the apartment. And when they walked in, the entire floor, all the flooring in the apartment had these tiny little red crosses drawn all over it. He tells his wife, he says, I was in the shower for 5 minutes. I cleaned the apartment. I know I had that door locked as well. They never left their door unlocked in that neighborhood. They lived in a bad neighborhood. He said, I know the door was locked while I took that shower. Now, you explain to me what the living hell was going on here. She is also now completely freaked out. After they calm down, he gets down on his hands and knees and he swipes his index finger on one of the red crosses on the floor, and he finds out it's lipstick. His wife's theory was, some kids got in here, and he said, no, absolutely not. I told you already, I locked the friggin' door, and a kid is not going to come into an apartment and make almost perfectly symmetrical red crosses all over the floor. A kid's going to draw a giant penis and testicles on the wall and a dirty word and leave.
Exactly.
So there they were, left with this mystery. How in God's name did this happen? To this day, neither one of them has an explanation. They simply cleaned it up and vowed to never talk about it again.
That's so weird.
When you bring it up to him, he still gets squirrely to this day. It freaked the living hell out of him. And like I said, they still don't know what happened. All I can tell you further on the topic is this. He told me maybe a month later, he was watching some documentary on television about voodoo or something, and there was some version of a voodoo spell that involved writing, like I think it was, if you mark someone's front door with a red cross, that means they're going to be killed. That's the only connection, if that even is a direct connection. That was the only thing he can tell me that might be an answer. But
did the girlfriend or wife, did she even have red lipstick?
At the time, Wapple, she was just his girlfriend.
Oh.
Yes, but then later became his wife. Did she have red lipstick?
She didn't have lips.
No, she had no lips.
Yeah.
Wow.
She was in a fire.
Wow. Really
No, I don't know. She probably had red lipstick. Why do you think someone would?
No. If she didn't have red lipstick or wear lipstick, that's even more concerning.
I can't answer that question. She may or may not. Exactly. No, if she didn't have any red lipstick in her makeup kit, sure, that would be even more frightening. I can't answer that for you. Red Cross.
I want to see his face when somebody says that to him. See if it's still after all these years.
You see him now and again, of course. And you never, and I never have the presence of mind to bring it up. Try to remember next time you see him, just walk up to him behind him when he's having a conversation and just whisper Red Cross into his ear and let's see what he swings at you.
Yeah, and I could just pretend like I didn't say anything and I have no idea what he's talking about.
What are you talking about? I was way over here. I'm standing over here.
I remember one time we were at a bar all together before a concert or something like that, and Nick told me to use the ketchup to make a red cross.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then Dana almost...
Oh, I almost had a heart attack.
we meant to freak out my buddy, but I think the ketchup was so watery it really couldn't make, and then Dana just got sick at the sight of... Right.
Oh, that's why you were doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dana had mentioned he does not like condiments. And I just thought, like, some people don't like them, right? Mm-hmm. But I didn't realize how much you were covering your eyes.
It was like a visceral reaction.
You looked like you were going to throw up.
Uh-huh. And I felt bad because I was sitting next to your wife, and she's like, who the hell is this kid, you know?
Well, that's true. We hadn't known each other that long.
Uh-huh.
Man, yeah, I can't believe that you're that affected by it. Now I got to get you, like, a whole variety of sauces for Christmas or something like that. Just to help you more than
the
anything.
ketchup of the month club. Yeah. You got to face your fears. It's about time, kid.
That's all I want to do is I want to help
kill you.
What
the hell was that?
I heard something very terrifying, but I couldn't tell where it came from. I thought of some revenge from my
I couldn't
son.
either. Revenge on your son for
so
skipping out on...
too good for Dad. Dad can't go trick-or-treating with him and his friends tonight.
Kick his ass in front of his friends?
No. Do it. Even better.
Better than beating his ass on the sidewalk in front of his friends.
Bruises will heal.
Yeah.
This is something he'll never get over. And I can combine something that I've been wanting to happen for so long. I need to convince my wife before his friends come over tonight to slut it up for Halloween 2024.
Oh, they would stay then.
I want her just to be filthy. But I want to go classic, like an Elvira or a Morticia or something like that.
No. If you really want to ruin your kid's Halloween, none of this classic Morticia, Elvira. You give her 2 eye patches for the top half and a stick of chewing gum for the bottom half.
I hear you saying, but I want it to be Halloween themed. Yeah.
Then okay, fine. But if you really want to ruin your son's Halloween, you go Straight up filth.
I don't think I can talk her into it, but I'm going to try.
You could always get a mask and then follow him and his friends around really creepily.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll work out, Josh.
Will you bail me out tonight?
Yeah.
I like Josh's idea better. And introduce him to the song Stacy's Mom so that they can replace Stacy with your son's name in it and sing it to him every day at school.
It looks like everything's coming up Josh tonight.
Not a bad idea, Cubby.
Well, today is
naked wife will always embarrass a son.
That's something.
I think I said that correctly.
You did.
Yes, naked wife.
That one will be tough to live down as a 7th grader. So today's our Friday. Have a happy Halloween to everyone. A wonderful weekend. Before we go, though, happy belated birthday to Jace from Dad, Mugslinging Jesus. Happy 53rd to Megalodon Jesus.
Whoa, that's a hell of a dong.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't have a name for this text, but get well soon to the person who said they're recovering from bladder cancer surgery for the 3rd time. So hopefully you're hanging in there. Congratulations to Crack-Filling Jesus, a.k.a. Leonardo, celebrating 5 years of sobriety today.
Leonardo?
Leonardo.
That's my homeboy.
Oh, that's who this is?
That's Leonardo.
It is the one that I just met?
The Leonardo.
Oh, that guy's cool.
I didn't know he had a Jesus name.
What is it?
Crack-Filling Jesus?
Oh, that's the real Leonardo.
Oh, awesome.
That's my broski.
Yeah.
My best friend. Leonardo. Oh, no.
Today of all days?
Oh, no. I'm sorry,
You
Josh.
know, I solved one heartbreak. I wasn't expecting a second one.
All right. Yes, you've just found out that I know how to kick a man when he's down. Oh, the look on your face right there. Josh.
Happy birthday, Ashley.
Josh, look at me.
Thank you, Josh.
You are my best friend.
And you are mine.
What does that mean? Why?
Red Cross.
What does this mean? An evil laugh? Now I'm frightened to go home or take a shower. Let's get us out of here.
I'll be there for
both. You will.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Hey, Ashley here. Get your home ready for winter. Schedule your furnace tune-up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning and save $30. Have a boiler? Save $40 on your boiler tune-up. Visit standardheating.com to book and lock in your savings. Stay cozy, stay ready.